1. Finally, these idiot casters started the game.
Look at that Sky Arcana. Whoa. Whoa.
I can't Look, it's a nice Arcana, but I don't play with Hero, Jonathan, so I'm not going to give it any positive. No positive feedback from me.
Oh, I can't wait till the alternative styles unlock. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I want it. And I like the Venge as well. Oh, if only we had a Venge Sky. Oh, wouldn't that be great?
We might have a level 1 team fight, John. Something even better, I think. Kidrak, gotta be cautious. Does break the smoke. Will go for the run and is going to be okay. Nice attempt from VP, barely missing out on the attempt onto Kidrak's life. They're going to try and sneak up and get a ward in the mid lane. Does get away with it with his smoke just about to expire. While we're talking about Arcanas, by the way, John, can I just add, there was an Earth Spirit set in the vote.
Wow.
The cache vote or whatever it's called. I know it's not going to make it, but if you are listening, please upvote it. We need something for our Earth Spirit players.
Wow. Amazing. Earth Spirit.
Shut up.
What a hero.
You want another Lion set? Is that what you want?
I actually would like the complete Lion or Lion Immortals to be released. Like the one last part. What do you mean trash hero? You just had so much fun with a Lion Medusa. You finally understand the joys of the drain. Okay? Finally convinced you. It took you how many years since that change? Well, not years. It's been months. How many months?
Get it together, Jonathan. Game 1. 2 for 2 on the banner runes, I do believe. Nice little even start here between both sides. Of course, we will start with the mid lane as per usual. Sumel's going to be on the Pangolier against the Puck of Squadix. What are you thinking about this lane? It feels like it could go very evenly between these two. Probably a more of an outplay matchup. You could probably give a slight advantage to Squadix.
Yeah, it's going to be slightly Puck favored, but it's not something that Pangolier loses out on. You do have good range harassment, though, for Squadix lined up, but it's much more consistent shoving from Sumail. First 2 levels are going to feel pretty all right. By the time you hit level 3, 4, it's just going to equalize for the most part with, again, a little bit more for Squadix. Level 6 is going to be key here, and rune control, of course, but the faster 6 for Squadix, for example, cutting off Sumail from looking for a roll as he levels into 6 could make or break a rotation onto the mid lane. And you do have quite a lot of options here for VP on the rotation, especially if Antares gets the room to come out on that Sky. That is the threat onto Sumail. Just a lot of instant control that can catch the Pango off guard and just ruin its path to taking these fights. See how much Sumail can get out. For now, Squadix again having a decent time, but
very low down at that bottom lane. FNG about to drop, barely able to get away. But there's that Tusk Enigma combination you talked about, John. Obviously very potent, and that's without tag team, so that was just the shards into the idol.
Just so much output. And again, you're not going for early glaives, or at least very early glaives with Heritage. Just forcing FNG to play on low HP, and I like this from the side of Shopify. They read the aggression that they can pump out here in the first 2-3 levels. It isn't really slowing down Heritage, to be fair. So overall, as the Luna, you don't mind too much. You are cut off from some creep, but that's to be expected. You're not really under pressure. Like, she still has full tango, she has reach in on her side. The key thing is Saberlight is able to ride up to maybe a little bit of faster timing onto the boots, onto Tranks, and sustain himself better in that lane. Maybe provide an opening for GH to consider his own mid movement down the line.
Top lane, a lot of damage being dealt towards Antares. Kidrak being very annoying on that wing. Bottom lane seems to be where all the action is. Just so much damage with these Eidolons out from Saberlight. Saberlight, of course, very, very good on the micro. Kind of switching between both heroes, but the VP kind of forced to just try and take those Eidolons out. So Saberlight will just respawn them before they do die. Well, going back to mid, Sumail and Squadix are both very, very close. As Notice top lane almost goes down, but not quite. Barely survived, barely able to get his way out. Kirak doing a fantastic job as always, is harassing these guys away from his carry. And Arteezy to salve up and be just fine.
Salve is unbroken. Notice doesn't have that flash regen on hand. There's a lot of power here for the CK, of course. Like, the Centaur just doesn't have that armor to really withstand a couple of lucky Chaos Strikes. And once the Reality Rift is up, that just makes matters even worse. Very low armor lane for VP to play into. They have to be cautious, because the chain stunts out from Shopify could lead to a very fast kill once you have that level 2 Chaos Strike up with the Reality Rift at around your level 4 spike.
I was saying earlier as well, Sumail and Squadix have been very even in that mid lane.
Jeez.
19 versus 18 in terms of the CS score. Top lane again, you saw Antares getting very low, unable to really get close. Kind of thing with Skyrath, though, very low base armor against a hero like Hoodwink is not going to feel very good. Meanwhile, bottom, they've got a nice tag team on FNG, and FNG is gone. The Saberlight and GH able to abuse that combination, finally killing the kill onto FNG. And it should only get better from here, from this bottom lane.
It's just so much output to play with for Shopify. They're doing the right thing, applying all the pressure they can onto Kiritich, keeping that lane constantly shoved in, so Kiritich can't even dig into the camps as his levels go up. And they are securing that strong start for Saberlord, which we've seen to be a really important part for when Shopify does get going. Right? Like, it's a lot of action coming out from that off lane. And again, this does give GH some room to consider making some movements onto mid, perhaps by the 6-minute power rune. Saberlight's pretty secure in his lane now. He's got the Tranks up. He can just play regen and juggle around the Eidolons with no big kill threat coming out from Kiritich and FNG. Could just be free to help the other lanes. The mid lane has been going pretty well now for Squadix, so a little bit of assistance for Sumail would be nice, but it's not like a massive lead. The power rune will determine a lot, though, and whoever does get that initial control here. So just having that start down bot does help the possibility for mid later on.
Pretty sick swashbuckle dodge there from Squadix. Going for the aggressive jaunt here. Sumail trying to be as aggressive as humanly possible right now. Squadix trying to really give it back to him. They both mid laners trying their absolute best to outplay each other. Still very close to the CS board as well. Squadix does now overtake by 5 CS. Meanwhile, top lane, Arteezy getting chased down a little bit on the tail end of that initiation onto Notice, but we'll be able to back his way out, no problem. Does not have a creep wave to farm, however, sadly. But Arteezy has had a very good lane. 27-2 on the CS. Compare that to the 22-4 of the Luna. You are sitting very pretty as they're going to jump again onto Notice. Kirak, he has a pushback available. He'd rather go for the Acorn shot though, and Notice he is going to be able to get out. Try to go for the bonus damage on the Acorn shot instead, and barely misses out on the kill.
I can assign you.
Just so punishing for Notice, though. He is still, again, finding some decent CS. And as long as they manage to ride through this rougher part of the lane, they're wasting mana on the side of Shopify without finding these kills. Some movement down mid. Arcane? Ooh.
This is the bushwhack, so Sumail does not get his Arcane rune. A little bit unfortunate, because had he got that, I believe that would have been a kill onto Antares, but sometimes the bushwhack, it's a little bit hard to land, especially with those tree lines. And at the very least, nobody will die on either side. Still 0-1 Shopify's way.
They've been doing a good job of holding off on the aggression on both ends. It does feel like you are finding a little bit more in lanes coming out for side of VP, just a little bit, mainly on Squadix. This puck is going off to a free start. Fortunate without the power rune, her rotation is a little bit harder to line up, but it could set his eyes down bot. No bounty rune to pick up though, so not quite enough mana to play. I am rather interested in seeing at what point we do see Antares going for the Ancient Seal. I feel like it has to be a 1-2-1 for sure.
Can you get the Wisdom? He has Disruption, but Kirak is going to be there to intervene, and they will not allow it. GH will be able to pick up the Wisdom Rune, no problem. FNG, can he get a deny off? Yes, no, he cannot. GH has got it. Nice little pick up there from Shopify and heads up play to really ensure they do not get their Wisdom Rune stolen.
Still does end up being a 1-for-1. Antares at least manages to take the other one safely for the side of VP, so not too big of a loss. The sacrifice of the Shadow Demon it's a pretty big boon for GH to find. Hits level 5 in the Tusk. Just needs to soak a little bit more into the 6, can start hunting in that jungle with all the spells he has. Good forward wards here being dropped by the side of Shopify as well. Keep that pressure. Kiritich is not the safest even this far into his jungle. GH knows that this Luna is going to be around somewhere. Also gets another forward ward. So they're ready for the punish. They're setting up for a quick push on that bot tier 1 with the Eidolon army and no one to clear out. Free objective for Saberlight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Saberlight will go ahead and take that tier 1 tower. Power runes are going to spawn up top, so a little bit unlucky there for Sumail. Squadix will be able to take an Invis rune for himself. Meanwhile, Saberlight, you can see him already trying to abuse that vision that GH did put down and try to hunt down Kiritich. He's got Black Hole available, and he knows Kiritich is going to farm that bot wave. He's got the Eidolons there, but it doesn't feel like he's too confident. Even the courier now from the Luna going right over Saberlight there for a moment. Sablelight's going to reveal his position. He does end up TPing into the mid lane where their fight is breaking out. Sumail is going to be fine. GH in the meantime, not going to dive in, not past that tier 1 tower. He'll just be happy that Sumail survives. Back down towards the bottom lane, Kit Raff. You're around FNG and Kiritich, Sablelight there as well, but as much as they are trying to set up onto this Luna, they are not finding the angle they're looking for. Meanwhile, top lane, notice, almost goes down to boot to Arteezy, but does make it out.
Yeah, he does have a little bit more arm to play with. Slow towards mid.
Back to Squadix. Squadix will be able to just juke out the snowball. GH is throwing his shards out to defensively get away, but a nice pushback from Kidrak going to set up extremely nicely onto FNG. Problem is the Stampede. He's going to allow them to run away. And still nobody dying. Just everyone getting so darn low, but nobody quite going down.
I'd say the space you're getting out here for Arteezy is pretty massive, though. He's got a nice lead over Kiritich. Kiritich is still not the safest down bot. These forward wards Shopify has dropped are doing so much for the pressure here.
They want this guy so bad, but they've gone too deep. The TPs are incoming. Can they really set up here? They've got the silence out onto the Enigma. Sablelight is gone. They'll get FNG for their trouble, but now the chase is on with the Dream Call locking down GH. GH still okay as Sumail is right behind him, ready to protect. But not a worthwhile trade whatsoever for Shopify. They'll give up their offlane for support.
A nice pickup for the side of VP. I think the bigger thing for Shopify is that they don't lose their wards. No one's still dewarding here. No one has a clue that this is allowing Shopify to play so far forward. GH is just constantly watching Kiritich. Although,
GH just soaking XP, trying to steal some CS away if he can. Meanwhile, Sumail actually going to take down Antares in the mid lane. So a nice little pickup there for the Pengali. Going to allow him to get a little bit closer now to that diffusal blade he's looking for. Bottom lane, FNG forced to be around Kiritich and finally finds that Observer Ward. It feels like the damage has kind of already been done here to the Luna. Like, you see how low the net worth of Kiritich is. Even just the levels, he's just still sitting at level 7. It's not a great feel.
not what you want to see on that carry Luna. Does at least have some stacks to go back to. Notice did get work started on that early, but was some farm at the very least coming out for Kiritich. The Mask of Madness not too far off now for the Luna, so the farming pace can kick in. But Arteezy, in comparison, again, has been left alone. Shopify Rebellion finding that strong laning start, which honestly is what we've seen from Shopify every single time you and I manage to get a game to cast from them. Like, their laning phase is impeccable. We'll see if they can translate that in a strong mid and early late game here. But the foundations have been set. You've got the drums up in Saberlight. He's going to the blink next. He does still have a lot to worry about in that Ancient Seal and the Disruption. But as long as VP aren't willing to connect together as a team just yet, even just a solo pick-off with the blink timing from Saberlight is still massive. And he is getting free space bot. Like, everyone in Shopify just has so much room to farm. No one on VP willing to threaten. This timing from Notice has to really line up into something here.
Perfect setup here onto FNG. Props to GH. GH's warding has been very, very good. Like, he has had this bottom side of the map on lockdown. Nobody is allowed to farm that area. And I think it really does go back to a player like GH just making so much space in the lanes, allowing this 3-core lineup to be just greedier than they should be. Karun has spawned up. It is going to be baited here by Squad. Extreme Core locking down Sumail, but there is cavalry incoming. Now the Snowball is going to save Sumail. Antares, he's being chased down by the Snowball. Sumail with the Swashbuckle, they will take him down. Antares is gone. Sumail will survive. And I was just speaking about how much impact GH has had already. Another great set.
Managing to be at the right spot at the right time. The scan also spotting out VP, camping that rune, does allow the side of Shopify to just collapse in force, get that punishment. 1-6, 3k lead out for Shopify.
How annoying they are. How annoying the support duo is on Shopify. Like, they are not leaving Kiritich alone.
No.
He just can't hit any creeps.
No, every single time. Like, he was haunted down bot, he's still haunted in the triangle. I mean, all the space is actually just going to Notice. He hasn't really shown up in any of these engagements. He's been free farming up top. He's got his Veil up. He is going straight for the blink, has that. This needs to pay off for the side of VP. Having this initiation on hand, the follow through from Squadix has to amount to something, because this is where all their investment has gone into. It's time for that investment to pay off and buy that space for Kiritich to scale. We'll see if the smoke amounts to much. No Stampede, still 20 seconds away, but this could be nice if they catch Saberlight and GH.
Problem is GH is in position to break the smoke and save Saberlight's life, and there you go. He breaks the smoke of Antares, and they are not feeling safe any longer. Of course, there is plenty of counterplay. You've got a Blink Black Hole available on Saberlight whenever he wants it. Here comes the cavalry. Shopify, they'll bring in Kit Rap. They want the fight. They're almost daring VP to come at them. Maybe a bit of psychological warfare as well, because you've had so much good vision from Shopify, and VP know that. They must assume they're probably under vision again. Power runes about to spawn up. Squadix is sticking around. It will be a double damage. They do jump in immediately. Squadix has to be very, very careful. Notice with a two-man stun. He's found Samel. He's found Saberlight. But where's the follow-up? Oh, they've all run. They've left Notice to die. Poor old Notice. He sets up a perfect fight, but there's just no follow-up to it. I think they were just too afraid of the black hole coming out.
And that is kind of nuts. They dropped the Dream Coil. They managed to get the setup for Notice to make a big play off the back of, but they show so much respect to Saberlight. Now they can smoke up, look for the follow-up fight with the black hole ready. Be dangerous for the side of VP. Kiritich?
Oh, not Kiritich. Arteezy, look at him just chasing him down, bullying him. Kiritich has no play either. He has no eclipse, nothing to do but die, as GH will take his life, and even the Wisdom Rune. Why the hell not?
This is not a good game for VP. We were expecting a little bit more, but what they could do, and knowing that, they were expecting that Pango first pick, doesn't feel like they've been able to play around that timing. You had a pretty decent lane for Squadix overall. You gave a lot of free space to Notice. The follow-up just not being there is a massive issue. They need to connect with these supports. It's been a lot of their damage does hinge on Antares right now, but it doesn't feel like they're able to capitalize on that. Like, we've seen some close kills, some engagements almost landing them kills, just not enough follow-through because Notice is not there. Now that they have Notice, they're retreating. Like, it's giving so many opportunities away to Shopify instead. 1-8, 6k lead, free farm for Arteezy to male #1 in net worth. Not too far off from the Ag, just about 1,100 gold away. For Arteezy's part, Orchid flying out, Bloodtorn not too far off now as well. Like, all of these key timings are coming in, and you have no answers. They need to find this, at least pick-off. Like, they need to play with pick-off. Even just Centaur Sky, go hunting. They need to find something.
Try for Kidrat. Samel is right around the corner, but he will not bother intervening. See Kidrat just drop. That was a 4-man rotation to make that happen, in fairness. VP probably feeling a little bit desperate to get some kills on the board. Meanwhile, Shopify Rebellion just casually farming. No real pressure applied. Arteezy does need to find his own way out now, as they are heading down towards the south, but with GH around, he's feeling quite safe, and GH has got the blink up. You're always going to have that blink snowball save if you need it. Ultimately, VP, they will not even be able to think about taking down Arteezy. He is just fine.
Managed to smoke out to reposition as well for Shopify. Could look to re-engage on the other side of the map. Lines are drawn back to Kiritich. Like you said earlier, they've been haunting this Luna.
They just know exactly where he is.
Oh, man.
Every single time.
And these wards are so good. This vision right above the tier 2.
Kidrak and GH again have been doing a fantastic job with these wards. Oh, now a scan as well.
Oh my god.
A scan as well. Oh boy. Yeah. Well, they sort of try and save the disruption. They cannot. Kiritich is gone. Now the black hole as well, catching out 3 of them. See you later. An ultra kill for Arteezy. Tips out for Saberlight. Oh, they are making it look a little bit too easy, Jonathan.
That they are. VP, it doesn't feel like they're able to do anything they want here. I mean, Shopify are doing everything right. Great vision, great scans, great game sense, great understanding as to what VP is trying to do. But it's just this collapse in laning phase that somewhat baffles me, right? Like, the early presence of Kiritich is taken away. There's not much they could do about the Eidolon spam, to be fair. But the fact that Notice took so long to join in, they'll find one more.
And Partis will go down. But it really is all about the vision. Like, every single fight, Shopify has the vision advantage. Even that last fight, the ward placed on the high ground straight away, the wards come out against VP, and there's just nothing you can do anymore. Easiest black hole of Saberlight's life.
Just straightforward.
Could get caught out. Arteezy's looking to see if he can get within range for the rift. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Shopify Rebellion looking to perhaps set up and see if they can find Kiritich again. Kiritich, you can see feeling very uncomfortable on the map. Is going to run right back towards his base. Notice going to show up, but the immediate jump in. No hesitation from Saberlight. No hesitation from GH. And Notice, well, he is on Notice. He's gone.
Yeah, just
Kiritich, he literally cannot go anywhere. The whole map is locked down. Kiritich has no space.
no. They've avoided all the entrances to the jungle. The only access point they have is the bot jungle, Virtus South in that lane, but even then, it's just so limited. I don't know what you do now if you're on VP. It feels like, again, the call is for pickoffs, but maybe even just a smoke to D-ward at this point is all you can really hope for and try to reel back some control. Shopify is smothering them out. There's no space to farm. We'll go smoke now as the supports. They do have one D-ward on Antares. They can take care of some of that vision, but not all of it. They'll drag Notice along too. And that burst potential with Sky and CK and Centaur is still there, but... Oh,
GH is just making it impossible. Antares is gone. Charts out, catches FNG there for a moment. They want Notice, who is forced to stampede away, but Simel just chases him down, eventually gives up on it. But every smoke they try, it just gets shut down completely by Shopify Rebellion.
it's just... There's no movement they can do. They're just in the right spot for Shopify. They're reading this game so well. For VP, I don't know if this gets easier on the high ground for them. Like, you need so much more farm on Kiritich. You need some scaling out to Squadix as well. And none of that is just presenting itself. They're all on the course 2 to 3K behind in comparison to the Shopify cores.
Carters, don't do it, sir. Don't do it. Oh, yeah. He showed. What can you do? In case there were any doubts, they were waiting in the mid lane. Now there are none.
Yeah. Hey, at least that Skywrath Mage Arcana looks good. Dying with style. There's that.
I disagree with you on that, John.
I'm looking for some positives.
Tormentor now to be taken here by Artesia and GH.
This is actually such a perfect game for Shopify. The tier 1s were never taken from VP. All tier 1s still stand.
GH actually a tanky target, and now Saberlight. Black hole out. He's caught FNG. GH is still running. GH has made it. No, and even Squadix goes down to Artesia. I mean, my goodness. Yeah, you know, I hate saying this, John, but it might be time to call. It's not even close.
No, I'd agree with you. I think it's just going to take too much time for your Luna to go back up. Like, the Manta's up for Kiritich now. That doesn't solve all your issues. Going for the Shard, BKB, all defensive, no damage coming out. Does feel like you're going to want your Conda. There's a weird consideration for Ag's refresh as well, just to try to nuke someone down. I mean, they're doing a great job with Notice just cutting creep waves up top, preventing any sort of push for the moment. But you have the safety net for Shopify to consider Roshan. They've got the output. DKB for Artur is not too far off now.
So now just going to go for a quick solo pick-up onto FNG. Can he get it? They will go for the Purge. Destruction is out. Simel still messing around. Does actually get some more hits off. Still going. TP away. Oh, he tried to go stylish. He tried to be stylish about it. I respect that, Simel. Obviously not willing to give up his life for the kill. Does get away. Doesn't quite get the kill, but doesn't matter. It sends a message.
Yeah, the attempt is pretty sick from Sumail. VP.
Well, there you go. It's an adventure.
It's stylish. That does give some room out for VP. You know, they did cross back to the river for Shopify. A good scan, though, to spot out the smoke from VP. They still need to try to find something off the back of this. They're running in the right direction, but it's a smoke and smoke now.
Certainly is. And again, there's a lot of vision here for Shopify. This is not the area they want to fight in VP. Antares already caught out. Artesia right in onto the Centaur, takes down Notice. Kiritich is running, but they catch him out to boot. He's forced to fight back. But there is zero chance of fighting back here against Shopify Rebellion. I hate to sound like a broken record, but it is just consistently fights under Shopify vision every single time.
I think in the game sense, the scan to prep prep the side of Shopify to get their own smoke out. They get in position, smoke breaks under vision on that jungle area as well. 3-21. Trying to grasp for straws on what the condition is. So, hyper farm on Luna. If this game drags on with no high ground progress, you get something like your Yules, maybe a BKB in squad, which doesn't feel great, but could help. If not, something to build up into the Ags on Puck, try to scale. Could be one way. They are going to find Roshan for free here on side of Shopify. Secondary life ready to go for Artur. I do not know what you can do now in VP. I think the full Shivas isn't up yet for notice. He is going for the BKB of his own. I don't know, it just feels like they missed this timing where they could have collapsed on mid earlier. They could have played around like the Ancient Seal, look for kills. Weren't able to do so, weren't able to really leave their side lanes that often. And Shopify just capitalized. I like seeing this from Shopify though, props to them. This is normally the time where the game slows extremely down for Shopify. That's what we've seen from them in past tournaments. They're keeping up the pace now. When you get the Aegis, they could look to set up onto high ground after a pickoff. They're working the map, they're taking everything away from the side of VP. And they're scaling up nicely. BKB up for Saberlight, BKB Black Hole ready. Nothing to threaten that. Everything's there.
Right, a masterclass here from Shopify Rebellion, that's for sure. 20k advantage now. They can press the advantage even further.
One more kill, Mike. One more kill.
Oh, there it is. The ever-evasive 3-2-2. Squadix. He's okay. Summel doesn't think so though. Summel trying for a bit of a swash, does not connect. Grouping back up around that Radiant Triangle, it seems here is Shopify Rebellion. Arteezy looking to move in, he's by himself. He might still go though. He's got a BKB and Aegis up. He'll just jump right into three of them. Disruption will stop him from going too much further, but Arteezy's not done yet. He'll continue charging right towards VP, forcing the stampede. I mean, what are you meant to do? You know you can't fight him at the moment. He's way too strong.
They need to hold on here, VP. Try to drag it out, try to find some space.
Here it is. I think they saw it.
Uh-oh.
I think they know the Luna's there.
Uh-oh.
The H is having a gander. Heritage will avoid him by going east and north. Looks like he'll be okay. There's no vision around that area, but there is a courier coming in from GH. Heritage, still okay. So he'll be fine to just farm that area of the map. But mid lane, there's a bit of a problem. They are pushing tier 3 towers at the moment. They'll try onto Arteezy, but he literally takes no damage. He'll move on to Nodus now. Squadix will TP in to try and help out. Meanwhile, Antares in the backside is being destroyed by Summel, but he will barely make it out with his life intact. Everyone's fine, nobody dies, Age is still intact. And I think Shopify, they'll keep going because you've got a black hole available. The Saberlight unable to land the black hole in time onto the puck. They'll just continue controlling the map. There's no need to rush high ground.
No. They have Aegis for so much longer. Still 2 minutes left for Arteezy. No pressure here. They're making it hard to find the 22nd kill side of Shopify. VP doing a good job of dodging out and trying to regain some farm. At the least, Kiritich is matching Saberlight's farm now, so that is some bit of good news. You've got the... Okay.
That's what happens when you try to de-water this game. Bottom lane, GH setting up another. Notice. He's going to try to get the hell away from GH, but GH is still just chasing him down. Notice can make a TP play away. GH has Blink up again. He wishes to commit, but instead he'll TP up towards top lane. Squadix is maybe just going to be the target here as they do dump the puck immediately. Snowball there to lock him down as well. Can they get a black hole? No, they cannot. Not yet. Squadix, he'll hold on to the high ground. He'll jaunt away. Meanwhile, mid lane, Antares is getting deleted by Arteezy, but does manage to walk just barely. But my goodness, I mean, just everywhere across the map, you look, somebody is dying from VP.
Not a good time for VP. Their high ground hold just isn't particularly amazing. They don't really have tight team fight there outside of maybe just a gigantic hoof stomp into a Dream Coil and hope for the best from the Eclipse. They will at least find a tier 1 tower now. Top does fall. That's the first tower going the way of VP in 28 minutes. That's some progress.
We also got 3-2-2 drop.
Yeah, we got it a while ago.
You know,
We're talking on.
Oh,
after the kill.
Shut up. Notice. Dump is there. Oh boy.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
yeah.
Walrus
Yeah.
Punch is available for PH, and RTZ takes another.
I mean, Notice is doing what he can, you know, just cutting these creep waves, stalling for time. Same thing from Kiritic using the illusions, just cut through top. They are holding on. They've dropped the lead down from 20 to 18k. They're reeling some space back in. Just a matter of needing maybe 10 to 15 more minutes of this. I mean, we were talking about this a while ago, but this is normally the time as well where Shopify do slow down. They need to find that high ground. Aegis is going to expire, so you're going to need to shoot for next Roshan. Or, like a massive teamfight win.
So I'm going to try now. I mean, RTZ is very close to having the full Heart of Tarrasque, just about 500 gold away. Aegis does now expire. You do not have that secondary line. Mind you, RTZ has not died once this game, so chances are he doesn't really need it anyway. The T3 bottom tower going down pretty freely here to Shopify. Very hard to know how you're going to initiate as VP, because Saberlight is just waiting in the way for a black hole. Seems like there's just so many spores to worry about here for VP. They're trying to creep skip the best they can, but this is out on the creep wave, so the push does just continue here from Shopify Rebellion. They'll force the glyph. Keep in mind, there's no T2 towers available, so they can actually go for Megas if they're feeling very, very confident. They'll probably just get away with this bottom ranks. I'm not sure if they'll try to pressure too much more. And they will.
Yeah, play it smart. They know their waves are shoved in. There's been cuts out from Squadix and Kiritic. They need to repair their lanes. Maybe get some punishment out if they can find the right heroes. But one rack's advantage up for Shopify. A nice, very calculated game coming out from them. And the side of VP, again, just doing what they can to stall for time. Get this Parasma up on Squadix, maybe gun for the Ags afterwards. Get the damage flowing out from Kiritic with the build-up into the Honda. You could still play. It just needs so much more time. Squadix, again, just constantly going between Tier 1, Tier 2, cutting off everything he can. Making it a little bit of a nightmare to consider the additional push for Shopify. But Roshan's coming up in about a minute. We'll see that timer. They could just gun for that instead. And they have a lot of coverage on Shopify. VP backs are against the wall. They do have some good forward defensive wards at least. They can punish an overextension out from Shopify and just dodge out these fights.
There's Korea with the Mystic Staff for Squadix as well. That's a bit of a shame. They've had the full Parasma, but not so much anymore. They're going to try for a smoke rotation. They'll see RTZ. Keep in mind, he has a BKB, but no Aegis. Problem is, the whole side is behind. FNG, he's going to find out the hard way. Unfortunate.
Yeah, just too far forward. Smoke play was scanned out earlier as well when they were standing on the triangle in the rear area. So this rotation might not pan out too much. They could get a nice rear angle here with Squadix. Does look like they might just use this to get some deeper wards in, and they will try to cut across the map. High ground opportunity does present itself now, though, for the side of Shopify. With Heart and RTZ, not much is really stopping them here.
No, just got to be very careful. Even with the BKB pop, GH will not jump in for a Walrus Punch, but it won't really matter. You haven't got the BKB available now on the Centaur. Well, notice he's trying his best to slow this down, but he's the one to drop. They're still trying to creep skip the top lane, but the T3 tower's already gone. Where's the backdoor protection? It's still not kicked in. Meanwhile, they have caught another target, and that is on target. Backdoor protection will kick in at the very least.
And then all the creep cutting is starting to pay off. For the side of VP, only losing a tier 3, so it's a laborious process for Shopify to start to really apply that pressure onto the high ground. VP doing what they can, quite effectively at least, to stall for time. And again, this is the strength of having a puck. This is the strength of having a Luna. You can just kind of stall quite well by cutting these creep waves. Very low commitment out from them as well. Shopify, Roshan is up. Could go for that safer play and maybe consider a wider team fight into the high ground. Shall see. I mean, they do have control of the map. They've managed to repair mid and top to an extent.
Oh boy, bottom lane, Kiritich has been caught. Saberlight with zero hesitation. They'll at least get a disruption off to save Kiritich for a little bit longer. Can he survive? It's pretty chaotic here in this team fight as he's completely surrounded and he is gone. They go for more now. Into the mid-racks they go. Squadix can do basically nothing. They'll buy back on Kiritich. They'll try one last time to salvage this game. TZ, of course, just going to focus on the mid-racks. No interest at all in forcing the fight here. Buyback from Antares to boot. There goes the jump in. Notice he's going to try. They're onto the CK. GH will jump into intervene. A very nice snowball as well. Will save from the Mystic Flare. TZ still taking a lot of damage, but has the BKB up. He's going to be just fine to walk away as Squadix jumping in again. Might be in a little bit of danger. FNG is going to go down. For more. They've got Kiritich. That is a dieback. That is it.
Whew. I mean, Shopify looking to be in top form. You know, we were having a little bit of fun in the draft. You know, it's like first base Pango coming out again. But the one thing with Shopify that you have to remember from all the past tournaments we've seen them play in, their first 10 to 15 minutes are amazing. This time, they maintain that momentum throughout the entire game. Great vision being dropped, a great understanding of where VP was going every single time. If not the ward spotting them, then the scans taking care of that every single time. And I know, like, this is Shopify, I feel like, at their best potential, right? Yeah. Where they have this really good early game, they keep that momentum into the mid game, and they build off of it so well. It feels like they're shot calling today. It feels like they have this really great understanding as a team as to what they have to do, in comparison to before, where it just looked a little bit lost after winning laning phase.
It's really tough. And you're seeing the highlights here, like Kiritich just not having a game at all. The big black hole from Saberlight catching 3 targets, setting up an ultra kill for RTZ. It was a very, very, very challenging game for VP. And what's kind of like you said, top performance here from Shopify Rebellion. RTZ goes unkilled, Summel goes unkilled. 11-0 for Summel, 9-0 for RTZ. Everyone playing fantastic. I think you really have to highlight that the support plays as well from GH and Kitrak. Like we went over and over and over again throughout that game one, but just the ward and vision gameplay that we saw, they were just never blind. No. Shopify, they just basically had map hacks. That's what it felt like.
Certainly felt that way. I have to, again, give props to how well Shopify bounced back after yesterday. I felt like VP, they looked to be in pretty decent form up against Team Spirit. It was fairly close in their last match. I know, Shopify came ready, came fully reset. They come out with this great understanding of what VP do. And again, this is the full potential of having that kind of opener with Pango, right? You pick the Pango, you waste bans on it, sure. But it just allows you to draft around very uniquely, especially for Saberlight in the offlane, having that Enigma pickup and just managing to play with it.
Dominated all lanes. So we will see if VP kind of make it work the other way now. It's a good luck, have fun. Does come out from Noticed. Tips out for Saberlight already. I'd love to see a game 3 between these two. At the very least, hopefully a closer game 2 on our hands. Squadix is going to be noticed here by Summel. He's unable to get the ward down, sadly, but we'll be just fine. Seems like Shopify are prepping for a bit of a team fight already. Ward's in the dire triangle. Not going to see anyone. They knew somebody was around thanks to that Watcher being taken. Hang around the high ground, hoping for perhaps a target to show themselves down at that bottom lane, but it seems as though VP are going to hang out top.
Yeah, I don't think you want to tempt it with a level 1. Again, lots of control on Shopify, lots of rundown potential early on. Could argue the same for VP, but a little bit more reliable for Shopify. Let's see. Already have the early vision being dropped by both sides. A little bit more reach from Shopify, but nice forward reach anyway with the early cliff ward here from the side of VP.
Hang about the bounty rune. Sablelight's going to show up. Don't really want to mess around with Kiritich here, so they'll leave the bounty be. This is still going to be a 2-for-2 trade anyway, so a nice even start between these two teams. As usual, we can start off with the mid lane, where you are going to see Squadix on the TA up against the Razor of Summel. Sure, you don't have the refraction burn, but you certainly are going to have a difficult time if the static link does drag out long enough. And we'll see how Squadix does try to deal with this style of lane, but Sumail should have an inherited advantage.
Yeah, it's not going to be too tough for the Razor. Every single time static link is up, Squadix really can't do anything in that lane. No damage to deal with. Sumail should just be able to control the lane quite nicely. Again, once you have refraction, it's a little bit better, but doesn't really save you from just losing all your damage anyway. Sumail should just have a grand old time on mid, which is where, again, that flex with the Pangolier really comes in handy here, as that Pango versus TA matchup would have been a lot worse for Sumail. They come out with a very winning matchup this time around. We'll see if Squadix can find a way to deal with it. Rune control is not too important for either side, but Sumail is lining up for the bottle, and so is Squadix for the sustain. No early blocks on camp. So actually, they do get an early block on the triangle from Shopify's end, so they'll cut off some of that stacking economy as well. That will put a dent. It's going to take a while for them to check up on that. It's going to be a long time until they can kind of set up for that recovery on the TA here on VP's end.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, you're looking down at bottom lane as well. GH and TZ gets Untardez noticed. A nice flame break already out from GH with the blood grenade to slow Untardez down, and this could be first blood already. Untardez, he'll pop the Verify, trying to survive, and notice with the double stun will barely allow the Rubik a way out. But already the aggression from Shopify, trying to establish dominance down at this bottom lane.
Yeah, I like that read coming up from Shopify. They know how strong this Batrider can be as a support. Batrider and a Sven lane is actually so scary. You just need a stun, and you have the repositioning with Flame Grave. You've got the magical damage to eat through. Noticed very early on. It is very mana intense, though.
First blood going to go the way of Kiridich. Saberlight not able to quite get away from the lifestealer. Meanwhile, back down at bottom lane, GH now dropping low, but it's going to be okay to back their way out. VP, though, a fantastic start with the first blood to go the way of Kiridich.
And that's the one lane that's probably not going to go that well for the side of Shopify. Pangolier up against the Lifestealer. This current hero. Well, a lot of HP on a hero to go up against the Lifestealer. There's a lot of damage that can be done. But that's the one lane that VP should be looking to hurt as much as possible.
It's so hard, this matchup with TA. Like, he's still fighting CS, but Sumail, every single time that static picks off cooldown, he just moves right in onto Squadix. Just takes so much damage away. Very, very hard laning stage for Squadix at the moment.
Just the nature of the matchup, and again, that's the beauty of Shopify's draft and switching things around with Pangolier. I mean, they saw the Pango, they instantly picked up TA first phase. Just use that as counter bait. They do isolate Antares.
They certainly do, and he's looking like he's got no way out. He'll try to use the tree line, but GH has got him. Right click will be there to finish off the kill. They'll finally pick up that pesky Rubik. Happy days for Shopify down at this bottom lane. TZ is getting away with another free farming style of lane. Then again, though, so is Notice. Notice is farming pretty well.
That he is. It's very farm heavy for both sides. The kill opportunities for Shopify are a little bit bigger, again, with the potential of damage from the Batrider. And mid lane again, just every single time the stat blink is up, it's just never fun for Squadix. There's no two ways around that. Rune control doesn't look like either side particularly cares if the other one gets the bottle top up. Both should be able to find her water rune. Support's not really leaving their lanes anytime soon. A little bit of a chase down up top, and you are having a pretty decent time here for Kiritich, all things considered. But you have to remember that RTZ on the Sven will outform anyway, just by virtue of the hero. So even a decent lane like this, RTZ is still going to be able to eclipse down the line with just some levels, and perhaps the Mask of Madness coming in once that's up. But this kind of start for Kiritich might not amount to too much. Considering what we've seen from Lifestealers, they need like Armlet Radiance. It's going to be Armlet first for Kiritich this time, so early activity can't come out. See if they can make the connections later on. Because it doesn't feel like Squadix will be ready when that timing is up on the Lifestealer.
Bit of intent to Notice. I don't believe they'll get away with this kill, but GH is really just applying so much pressure here with the Firefly. FNG top lane forced to back away as well in the Mirana, not feeling very healthy. DP trying their absolute best to slow down this Sven as much as humanly possible, but with the Batrider threat, it is certainly not looking too easy for them. Meanwhile, Sumail slowly started to move his way down bottom, but it looks like he's just farming some camps in the Radiant jungle. Again, it does feel like the lanes have gone very well for Shopify so far. props to VP. The lanes are a little bit more even than last game, I would argue. But still an outright win, it does seem like for Shopify, as even Kiritich top lane dropping very low, but the bushwhack, it is not going to land.
That does force out the rage a little bit early. You have the salve ready for Kiritich to stay in that lane. With levels up, Saberlight is starting to do some damage. Again, there's not much synergy with Lifestealer Mirana outside of maybe an Infest bombed at 6. So it's not something that you can fully shove away to Pango outside of just trying to run him down with right clicks. That does provide some room for rotation mid. Kitrak looking to connect on the Squadix.
Very nice flame break from GH. Knocked the Squadix back. Just so much damage. And now Kitrak comes in for a very nice bushwhack. Squadix is gone. GH will get... Oh, no, he will not. Oh, he does. The Fairy Fire coming in clutch from GH. They'll get away with murder. No problems here. Even Kitrak copping a bit of damage from FNG, but he's going to be just fine.
Yeah, they managed to get rune control on top of that. Sumail with haste, looking to make his way down bot. Not too much time left in that static link cooldown. Notice in danger.
Is Sumail moving in, gets the plasma field off. They've got the stun, and Notice is gone. Just too easy here for Shopify Rebellion.
Yeah, they're just working this movement across the map. VP, you know, Shopify knows that that movement lines up on mid, forces the movement out from FNG to walk down. And Antares can't really do much to help as he was already hanging mid. Another opening for Sumail. We talked about the timing on this Razor. If it pops off early, it is a massive threat. Arteezy is just camping for Notice to TP in. Jeez.
Yeah, he certainly is. Sumail's going to join in as well. They might fight over the Wisdom Runes here. Antares, he'll stick around and try to get the lift off in time, but Arteezy's got the Wisdom. You don't see that too often. But Sumail and Arteezy taking a Wisdom Rune for themselves. Sumail finding a killing spree now on the Razor. When's the last time you saw Arteezy run for the Wisdom Rune, John?
I don't think we've ever seen that. You don't tend to see that from your pause once, but he has such a good read as to how far ahead they are. Look, he's going to go again. He's got the God Strand. He can pressure. He's just going to try to kill off Notice. Just a little bit. Not going to fully commit. Mail not ready for the dive back in. But everything lining up right now for Shopify. They are responding down bot, but you have a level 3 Rubik, a level 4 Mirana, still level 5 on your Centaur. Doesn't feel like you can really stop the spin unless Arteezy just completely oversteps here.
Yeah, absolutely. A pretty rough time. And sadly, you don't have the level 6 on Notice, so no Stampede to follow up there onto the spin. Bit of a rough time here for VP. They're trying to find the angles here, but with the Wisdom Runes both being taken, the supports are going to suffer quite a lot. Power Rune not even spawning down bottom, so Squadix has to go top, but Kitrak is there to make sure it does get denied off. Squadix does at least duke out the bushwhack, but everything is being denied away from Virtus.pro. In fact, Kitrak is still sticking around with the illusion, trying to hand it to Sumail. Will have to take it himself, but it doesn't matter. It's all about denying it away from the Dire.
Again, they're making them focused on mid Squadix.
Okay. Cool, we'll connect on a couple. Sumail not going to go too much further. Meanwhile, Arteezy, though, bottom lane, does end up going down. VP able to take advantage of the fact that the mid lane was just complete chaos. They will find a very important kill onto the Sven.
And that's the slowdown they need here on VP, getting that punishment. Onto Arteezy, just playing a little bit too far forward. Got the level 6 up. Didn't even have to commit Stampede here unnoticed. Playing a little bit too on edge for Artur. Still 5-2 VP, despite all those losses, are with a slight advantage. Less than 1k going their way. That's mainly on Kiritich having such a free time up top. And Arteezy, despite those kills, not able to get as much farm as he'd want. He did miss out a few waves to make that move onto the Wisdom. They are starting to clump up bot again with a smoke out.
Here we go. Group up is there. Kiritich on the Twin Gate high ground. We'll move in onto Arteezy. They have not got much help around from Shopify. They're going to try and TP some heroes in to help Arteezy out. It's looking pretty rough for them, though. Saberlight with the Rolling Thunder may have just saved the day, but no, the Stampede to wrap around the Tier 1 tower. They'll take down the Sven again. How can they punish here Shopify? They'll try out the Notice, but now the stuns come out onto GH, so GH being stunned up. Kiritich dropping low. Saberlight still trying to chase him down. Meanwhile, GH, he will drop, but they will take at least FNG with them. Thing is, Kiritich is fine, so is Notice. Kirak will even drop the Squadix across the map. A great fight for Virtus.pro.
What's unfortunate for Saberlight, the The Rolling Thunder just not connecting to much at all until the end. Good dodges out from VP. Great timing with a Stampede. And the Infest Bomb to clean things up. They do have that sustain in them for Virtus.pro to make that play. Again, great read to make that move across the gate, even for Kiritic. Get some action going across the map. They even out the game. Again, they still maintain a slight net worth lead here on VP. They're buying space out for Squadix to build up on that TA. Dragonlance not too far off into that Blink Shard timing that we tend to see for this hero. So, all things considered, all these trades that Shopify have made aren't amounting to too much just yet. VP looking a lot more alive in this game than they did in the last one. And they are putting up a great fight early on, having that slight advantage lined up for themselves. And this timing, once it's online, is pretty scary. Like, Squadix can come in without too much cares. Sumail will always have to be on point with his targeting on the static link. You have to be able to chain stun as well to prevent the Stampede from getting a save here. And all that's easier said than done if VP can find the angle in.
Absolutely. I mean, props to Squadix. After a very challenging lane against Sumail, he has caught up and is at the top of the net worth board now on the TA, and that's exactly what you needed to see for VP. Like they're going to have a much better mid game than last time around. Already a much better game as well. We're 6-5 with a 1k advantage VP's way. Of course, Kiritic has been very, very silent across the map, but he's been basically free farming on the Lifestealer. A great old time. There is going to be a two-man smoke being committed here by Shopify. Mel and GH will wrap through the mid lane. They'll ignore Kitrak for now. Head up north instead. See if they can find themselves an easy support pick-off. In fact, never mind that. They want Kiritic. Up towards the top lane they go. They will not find a Lifestealer yet, so back into the mid lane. Lasso available for GH, but he does not have a blink to try and initiate with. It seems like they'll just let the smoke down.
Smoke breaks right under the ward, so even FNG can make his way out. That does give the counter smoke here for VP.
He's just going to see it. He'll tank the gank for the team. In fact, he's going to Firefly and just try to run. Meanwhile, towards the left side, Kiritic is trying to fight Sumail, but Sumail's got the static link off. Still a lot of damage being dealt. Sumail still trying to fight back, though. Is surviving. Kiritic, it's getting too close. He will survive. He will get the infest off on the Wild Wing Ripper as now he goes onto Arteezy, but he's still got no damage. Kiritic is literally tickling Arteezy. But they at least get the Razor. It's good enough.
That's a massive win, actually, for the side of VP. Again, using that smoke break under the vision to get a regroup, get that angle in, cutting off GH from helping out, and isolating the rest of Shopify in that fragmented fight. It's not the position they'd want to be in. Artur, and he's got the damage, he's got everything ready, but no one is there to support him. They need GH around with the threat of Lasso, with some of that repositioning that the Flame Break can provide. VP, though, not resting. They do have good aggressive wards watching that triangle. Can be a little bit hard to try to pin down Arteezy, but things are coming out for that top area.
Absolutely. They are certainly looking to try and shut down the map just a little bit here up against Shopify Rebellion. Start with the T1 top tower. I don't believe the defense is coming here for Shopify, though pings are coming out. GH has slowly started to rotate. They do have the opportunity if they wish to try and force a defense. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Notice was being watched by Saberlight and Kidrak, but he is successfully going to be able to retreat. They do pop the Moonlight Shadow on top. That tier 1 top tower is officially now gone.
Yeah, so a little bit of a free siege coming out for VP. They take that opportunity to Moonlight out as well, GH.
Get far forward. Very nice pick off there from Montades with the stolen plasma field. Kidrak's going to move in. Does get the Acorn shot, but no Bushwhack to follow. But they will get themselves a consolation. They do find at least the Ruby, because now the Sharpshooter will be channeled, but does actually hits FNG. But it won't matter, he does TP up. Everyone else is out of there. It's just a 1-for-1 of the supports.
Yeah, they do manage to steal away the Wisdom Rune in that time anyway. So you are still fairly happy on VP making that sacrifice. Get that pickup for Kiritic. There's a little bit more to play with for the Lifestealer. Inching towards that Radiance timing now on that hero. And again, maintaining this 3k lead, you've got a healthy feed onto Squadix and Kiritic. To be fair to Shopify, they're not lagging too far behind on their individual cores, and their farm pump is fairly close together. Like, you still have this big spike for Arteezy into Echo Saber disassembly. Saberlight playing tag.
Playing with fire. He does have the Swash away, has the Rolling Thunder, and will use the Rolling Thunder. Continues chasing Kiritic after the rage. They do get the Bushwhack into the Sharpshooter, and Kiritic is down, but Saberlight will follow. Like, they even found Kitra. Do you call that worth, John?
It's somewhat worthwhile. It forced out Stampede usage from Noticed as well. It is still a net worth win for VP overall, but you are putting a dent onto that Radiance timing that you're looking for in Kiritic. So it does help the cause a bit. It buys some space for Artur and Sumail. The siege is in full force now, though, for the side of VP. Mid is gone. Good scan to spot VP sneaking from the rear. Ortiz has the space to back off. The key thing for Shopify now is really just stalling out. Wait for this timing where Arteezy can go for the disassembly into BKB, get the blink up, and the Sven can start to play a lot better. You're also lining up for this blink timing on GH, which he is being given room to farm into. Once you've got these initiation tools on hand, it does make the game a little bit easier to play with, especially just having connections for Saberlight to actually connect with when he does want to commit with a Rolling Thunder. So far for Shopify, it has felt rather defensive. They just need time. VP need to keep applying that pressure. They are still strong with or without that Radiance timing. They'll go for a Moonlight play if the angle presents itself here.
Shall see. I think it's that Radiant Triangle. Sumail is around the area, and so is Kitrak. They'd much rather the Razor if they can. They'll miss out. Instead, they'll head down straight towards Kiritic, who is taking the bottom tier 1 tower. EH, looking to TP away, will be just fine to do so. They'll give up the bottom tier 1, but obviously they understand with the spikes here for VP, they cannot really hope to fight the Dire side. We'll just allow them to take the tier 1 for free. Instead, they'll look up top where Saberlight could try to hunt Untardez. We'll try go for it, but it might be a bit of a bait play by the Rubik as he does lift up into the hoof stop. Notice is around. Saberlight trying to TP, cannot do so. He will drop. Nice little bait play here from Untardez.
Yeah, everyone are ready to back him up. Saberlight not able to go for the roll into TP as well. Does get punished for it, trying to greed out a little bit more. There is still that TP point in top tier 1. And it almost feels like the opposite of game 1 right now. It's Shopify this time that's not able to take any tier 1 just yet. Map control completely going the way of VP. The timings are lining up. This TA is hitting its massive spike with Desolator up. Once you get this Deso TA, one team fight out, Roshan will just instantly melt towards VP, give them a massive advantage to start taking out these tier 2s. You're still a ways off from full BKB for Arteezy here. Does have the Echo Saber, so disassembly is ready, but does need more time. Sumail still gunning for that Manta. Recipe not too far off. And you've got the Blink for GH, but really wants the Force Staff to reposition on top of that. Not quite there, but they are ready with a smoke if they want to reveal that Blink. And the map is just so small for the side of Shopify. The ward's a lot more defensive than last time as well, considering this game state. See if they try to force something out. Again, this Blink timing in GH is pretty big. Can catch someone off guard. Find a big kill onto someone like say, Squadix or even Kiritic if you can chain stun him. And things can start to turn around quite quickly here.
Things are out. They see Kiritic down to that bottom lane. He's going to run right into him. A lot of heroes around. Kiritic does need to run, but the lasso is there. GH will catch him. Kiritic, he still gets the rage off, trying for the TP play. There's no way he gets it. And he does not. A bit of a longer TP as well, unfortunately for Kiritic. He will go down. Kiritic, he's getting rather close to the Radiant, so it's a nice pickup here for Shopify Rebellion.
Yeah, nice pickup. Right target, pretty high net worth. Does equalize the game a little bit more. 800 gold swing the way of Shopify. And a little bit unfortunate. It almost felt a little bit messy from Shopify. They were trying to greed out, hope for the Rolling Thunder to land first before committing the Stormhammer. Almost would have been disaster if that TP was just a little bit quicker. But they do still manage to clean up, fortunately, with enough damage. GH stealing some camps as well, getting that build-up you'd want for the Batrider to get into the Blink. And Virtus.pro, again, they've had a better time here than game 1. They've been in control. They need to start meeting these spikes. Once this Deso is up, they should be able to group up, take a fight, start to pressure onto Roche. That's where you start to feel comfy and should start to line into that Radiance timing as well that we're looking for from Kiritic. For now, a free push coming out from Squadix onto a tier 2. And it's not going to take too much more. A couple of right clicks away from just clearing this out, providing even more map control for VP. But they're lining up for Kiritic again.
Certainly are. Kiritic being targeted here by Arteezy, but Arteezy understanding he does have to retreat. The TPs were coming in from Noticed. Yes, later timing as well now on Squadix. I believe it is on the Courier. The concerns once again for Shopify is the spikes just continuing from VP. Maybe a bit of a rotation from Shopify Rebellion. They are going to smoke up Az3 along with their Sven. Head up towards the top through the river. Sumel will join his team, it seems. In fact, never mind, he'll just farm the creep wave instead. They can find the TA, it'd be happy days, but keep in mind again, she does have a lot of damage right now, but no BKB available, so if you get the initial lasso, chances are she's just going to die. Squadix is going to be fine to get away. GH jumping in, he does find Antares, not quite the target they wanted, but they'll take it.
Yeah, you take the freebie, get the tier 2 going as well. Let's clear out the map a little bit more. This does make it a little bit harder for the side of VP to try to leverage that early Deso at least, but we're not losing cores. We might get them to reposition Sumail.
Far forward, still going to be okay to back his way out. Jump in from Notice though, he's going to find himself Kit Rack, so Kit Rack will be going down. Meanwhile, GH able to TP? No, he's not.
Ooh.
Squadix does have the damage output in time. A killing spree now for the TA. 2 for the price of 1 for VP, and VP still looking very, very strong for game 2.
But they are. They're choosing their targets well, choosing their fights really well. They managed to build that lead back to 4K. Radiant's up and running now on Kittitich, and here's that Roche timing we were looking for. One couple of pickoffs into Roshan, not going to take too long with a TA on hand. That's going to be a massive boon for VP to look for more of these tier 2s. Side of Shopify, again, next steps are some mobility item for Arteezy, the Blink or the Ags. Does look like he is still considering which one. Scan spots Roche, but it does go way too fast with a Deso. And you're going to have that safety net now for Squadix to play up front. But again, the lead it's not as big as you'd expect it to be. You still have some good spikes from VP. Shopify aren't too far behind. It's just down to execution. It does feel like VP's been on point with some punishment here.
Arteezy, he's very far forward. They're trying to get greedy for the tier 1 tower. Notice does not make the jump in. VP still look like they want to try and force a fight through the mid lane. They'll run up towards top. GH is showing himself in the creep wave right now, so they'll see if they can find themselves a cheeky Bat Rider kill. GH does have a TP available if he wants to commit it, as the chase is still ongoing. Oh, they found Saberlight, but it's not quick enough with the arrow. Just barely missing out.
Just some good space being made. Again, just allowing for this build-up to get into that point where you've got that blink on your Sven. You have your Force Staff up now on GH. Off the back of that, recipe is ready to ship out. So, again, the repositioning with Lasso going to be a lot easier as well to get that isolation. It's VP that's under some pressure to work the map, right? Like, they need to be able to keep Shopify in their side of the river. They need to be able to try to look for something to build into the tier 2 siege, maybe consider a high ground threat as well. GH
able to set up onto Antares, just he was still sticking around farming the area on the Bat Rider, so Kiritich, he's going to show himself as well with the Midnight Shadow. He'll find Kit Rack trying to sharpshooter away, will go for the TP play out. Oh, he's not going to make it. Kiritich barely having enough damage. The 1-4 on the supports, but Shopify Rebellion, they seem a little bit more desperate for the kills. Like Arteezy, keeping right into where Kiritich has shown up. This may not be the idea. The stun, it will not land. The Rage was picking up. Kiritich now just chasing him down, hands already up. FNG to back him up. Arteezy is forced to BKB. Meanwhile, Squadix now being sapped away by Sumel, has no damage available. Saberlight's going to jump in, taking no damage from the Meld Strike of the TA, but Shopify needs to run. Notice, he'll jump back in with the stun. Kiritich is on the chase here for Sumel, but everyone's getting away. Everyone is fine from Shopify Rebellion. But the push is ongoing. BP are not backing off. They've got an Aegis for the next 3 minutes on this TA. They want towers.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty big win for VP. They force out the first BKB usage of Arteezy for a retreat. Are still playing tag as well, but we'll find that tier 2. And now the high ground pressure can start to come in. They've got the output with Squadix. They've got great presence with Kiritich with that Radiance. They've got enough to kind of get things going. There is a lasso ready on GH. This is where the Bat Rider can shine on the high ground defense. Just need to somehow find an angle. And with Force Staff Blink, GH's game is simplified that much more. But the side of VP understand that. They've seen the Force Staff showing in the lane while farming. They will play it safe. And they have so much time on this Aegis. Pressure isn't that high. They could go for another tier 2 take relatively safely here.
They're going to try for it. Fine, not feeling very confident to defend. Sumail will try to at least clear out the creep wave and does do a decent job of it.
It's under attack.
Find a position where they just need to find some more space for their cores to get that farm going. You kind of need to just wait out the storm as well with this TA, right? Like the TA is just hitting a bit too hard at the moment. Obviously, there is still some scaling to go as Squadix doesn't even have a BKB up yet. You're going to the Daedalus first, but nevertheless, you've got to just ride out the storm if you are Shopify. Top lane RTZ, sticking around for the farm, can get punished. Gets the BKB off in time, will go for a bit of a run with the Warcry. Heritage on the chase, the TP away should be fine as RTZ cannot be stopped. Hitrak trying to juke his own way out with a TP, but no, he does get caught. At least they get their POS one out of it.
They bail out Artur. That's another BKB charge going down, though. They still spot him out. FNG's tracking. No one to follow through, though. They know where this guy's farming up. They are rushing down with Squadix. Could make this happen if you're not too careful here on Artur.
Spidey senses were tingling, though. RTZ able to blink away, realizing they probably weren't coming. Notice, gets lassoed in the mid lane. Sumail's going to try and get the damage up, but this is a very tanky Centaur at the moment with the Crimson Guard, and Sumail just gets completely annihilated. The Saberlight, he's going to try to move in, still trying for the Centaur, but again, they don't have the follow-up damage. Saberlight just needs to roll his way out. It is just not safe enough.
That was rough to watch. They commit a lot with Lasso and Static Link, but Centaur is just way too durable. Has the Crimson Guard along with Plate Mail. So much damage reduction on hand. Aggro Siege can begin in earnest. Only a few seconds left on the Aegis, but it's just a free reset for Squadix, and the tier 3 will fall. Shopify, they blew everything. They don't have roll, they don't have lasso.
Caught for a moment, a nice pushback though from Kidrak, setting up perfectly, but again, the follow-up is just not going to be there. This the Aegis does now expire on Squadix. There is an opening for Shopify to try to abuse VP. They will play it safely and back out of there, not feeling safe. In fact, they saw RTC farming the top lane, so they'll try and maybe go for a chase onto the Sven. Hades doesn't see him. Noticed he might have a look. RTC, he's got his BKB TP ready to go whenever though. He'll blink away. No BKB TP this time. Not yet anyway. Notice still having a look around with his life stealer, but RTZ is fine. Counter smoke now. Shopify Rebellion back into the Radiant Triangle.
I fear nothing that moves.
Hacking a bit of vision around the area though. It's kind of hard to know exactly where VP are. VP in fact running right into them. FNG trying for a Wisdom Rune, may pay for it with his life. Still they have found Saberlight. The Pango's already down. Kidrak's the next target. Kidrak having a lot of trouble surviving through this. Meanwhile, Sumail trying to stand behind and protect RTZ. Can they actually turn this team fight? The answer is no. They've got to back away again. VP, they'll get away with a 2-for-1 trade. And I mean, FNG literally donated his life that time around.
Yeah, and they still had to throw out the lasso to get that done. Just not the proper position for Saberlight. Good punishment out from VP, and again, opening up this high ground. Racks are not going to last too long with the damage they have here. No lasso threat for a while. No Pango roll. It's not a defense I see can come out. We'll lose the mid. At least bot and top are still relatively safe. VP not under pressure to really push the envelope too hard, but their timings are online. Shopify. They need to reach this point where Sumail has like the refresh. It's got to be the double Eye of the Storm, double Static Link that saves him here with the double BKB. But we're still a ways off from that full farm here for the Razor. VP just been able to dance around, not exposing their front line at all. And even when they do, like Notice is just too tanky to pin down. Kittich is very, very hard to hold as well. And Sumail always has to Static Link the TA. Like it can't even be the Lifestealer because Squadix burst damage is just way too high to allow a free game. So he's always holding on to Static Link to try to pin down the TA now in these fights. And Squadix has just been really patient, just not showing up at all. Waits for the cleanup, allows the Lifestealer and the Centaur to just do that work up front. Try to bait out Sumail, put him out of position, and just clean up afterwards.
Oh, Squadix has still got a BKB to farm up. Yes, it hasn't really peaked yet for Squadix. Not even close. He's just a glass cannon at the moment. Only one death on the TA, and that was a lot earlier on, I do believe. Here we go again, Shopify Rebellion having to find a way to defend their tier 3 towers. They're only 1 racks down so far, 30 minutes into the game. Saberlight, Rolling Thunder is going to be committed. He'll make the jump in. Problem is GH does get caught mid-blink, and he is just going to go down immediately. No Batrider available, and I think Saberlight has to leave once again. Defense does continue. Problem is the T3 tower goes down very quick. This now notice jumps in right onto Saberlight. That'll be a Pangolier going down very quickly here to Virtus.pro as they find Samel as well. Samel able to BKB and run, but without GH and Saberlight, they've just got no team fight.
No, there's no saving this. They really needed the last one to go off. Only 1 set of racks holding back VP, and they're not stopping. They know how strong they are. The output of Ortiz is just not there. He needs that full Daedalus, but still lacking the gold, that Demon Edge. It has to be something cheeky with GH. He needs to find that lasso to open up this fight.
It's proven to be very challenging with Antanas just standing behind with lift ready whenever. Here will get jumped. Arteezy though immediately stunned, and Arteezy's gone. Completely destroyed here by the TA. There goes Kidrak as well. There's no buybacks available on Shopify, and they call it. They have seen enough. Because you saw how fast the spin just got bursted. Squadix, I mean, my goodness. He finally pops a PKB as the game's in.
Yeah, it's a spectacular performance out from VP. They play through the timings really well. They come out with a draft that's much more boon for VP. That's the deal breaker here for the side of Shopify. That their team fight is a little bit tighter in terms of area control for Shopify Rebellion. Now their hard hold is not quite there. Maybe a good snowball with a split earth, and then you can kind of set up for the Rolling Thunder from Saberlight. But just compare that to an arena to Dragon Tail, it's much quicker for VP kind of get things going on their end.
The level 1 team fight already. GH getting some vision down.
Just
trying to get out any rotations to come in.
And died with honor.
Be able to back off here, Virtus.pro. They won't try to make their move through the north. Virtus.pro pretty split up, not looking for a level 1 team fight, I do not believe.
30 seconds.
Shopify's draft does seem much more suited for a big level 1 team fight. But Virtus.pro will not give them that angle and opportunity. See, noticed already at the top lane, just clearing out the tree line, just ensuring it makes it a little bit harder for these bushwhacks to land from Kidrak. One way to kind of deal with it. Go. Bounty runes to spawn. Shopify, they are just going to set up the top ones. Saberlight, of course, not going to bother trying to contest the bottom ones on his own, so it will be a pretty easy 2-for-2 trade on those bounties. And we can start with the mid lane as usual. I mean, Samel's going to be up against Squadix once again. Of course, the Zeus versus the Leshrac matchup. How do you think this one should go?
I would say you have a little bit of an advantage on the Leshrac. You can right-click a little bit more, so you're not as reliant on just spamming out your spells. It is still fairly reliant on Lightning Storm, but when it comes down to it, there's a little bit more economy for Sumail to land some good right-clicks with his added range. Mind you, it's not as much damage as Squadix would do with his own right-clicks, but then range advantage is the real difference maker there. So Sumail should have a good time in the first 2 levels. By level 3, you get the value point and heavily jump. It shouldn't be as deadly for Squadix. Rune control against the big aspect here. Just whoever gets to control bounty and water rune, I want to say, for both sides, does tend to have a better time. It's about just economy with a bottle. If you can get ahead on either side, get some good movement from the supports, just deny the opposing water rune, you're pretty happy on either mid.
Absolutely. Of course, you have those side lanes as well, down at the bottom lane, Saberlight and Kidrak against FNG and Heritage. I feel like it could be a very kind of passive lane. Of course, the Dragon Knight does not make it easy to take him out with that Dragon Blood. Still could see some kills popping up here onto FNG, but apart from that, I fully expect the bottom lane to be a little bit more quiet.
And it should be. Again, you end up with a Pango DK lane, which was one of our expectations early in the draft for the mid. Same thing kind of applies here. Maybe a little bit more kill threat coming out from Shopify, just because you are a little bit more aggressive with the Hoodwink, but overall it shouldn't be a massive issue for Heritage at all. And just see how much...
Oh. Nice spear out. Arteezy looking like first blood as Antares is able to secure the kill. GH could do nothing about it at the level 1 mark, and it's the scary thing about a MOUZ Rubik lane. They've just got the easiest setup for the spear combination, and sadly for Arteezy, he does get caught.
Yeah, it's the one thing to watch out for. Again, there is some magical output here in this lane. You don't have the highest HP despite having a lot of armor, so slowly whittling away does work out up against this Terrorblade. Mind you, he still has Metamorphosis. They have Tag Team ready on GH. They could try to make a play off the back of that. See that opportunity presents itself so far. A little bit slower for the Terrorblade in comparison to what you're getting out here for the side of Virtus.pro. And notice, after a great start, just finding that isolation. Really a simple combination as well. You don't have counterplay until you have a save on GH, which is still ways off.
Nice shot down from GH. With the Metamorphosis, Antares is having a very difficult time getting away, so a great setup here for the Tusk onto the Rubik. Meanwhile, down a bottom lane, there is a bit of a chase here for Kitrak. FNG also being chased down by Saberlight, but both sides are going to have to allow those supports to leave. The bottom lane, even though we assumed it would have been a little bit more boring, turns out there is some action happening.
Yeah, it does force the salve out from Kitrak. Does lose that regen on hand, so FNG has a little bit more to play with. Again, for the DK, it's very hard to shove him out with two. Ooh.
Yeah, GH again, setting up perfectly here on the Tusk. Just off the back of that Metamorphosis about to wear off, he found the shards into the snowball on the tag team, and GH making magic happen on this support Tusk.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting that good punishment this time on to Notice. The bigger kill that you'd want. This is downtime now for the Terrorblade, though. Without Metamorphosis up, that threat isn't there. This is the opening for VP despite that death. They should look to try to maximize if they can, but at this point, Shopify should look to play that lane a little bit slower. Taking a look at the mid, you are getting a lot more again for Sumail. There's just not as much the Zeus can do. With all of the harassment coming out from Sumail, no one's denying off the water runes either, and no one's denying off the bounty rune. It's in fact, movement out from Kitrak tried to clear out the bounty rune earlier on there as well. And to move in for the water rune. So they're the ones choking out Squadix. No bottle refill, no bounty rune to fall back to. Sumail is just going to take control at this point.
Yeah, it's one of the positives as well about having a Pango down at the off lane is Saberlight can always just get away with the swashbuckle, just never really feeling like he's in any big danger. In fact, speaking of Saberlight, he's still playing with fire here against Kiritich and FNG. But it does allow Kitrak to just kind of rotate across the map and ensure that Sumail does dominate that mid lane. Must make life very, very challenging here for Squadix. And even harder is the fact that none of his supports are dying, so nobody's going to be able to bottle refill for the Zeus anytime soon, sadly. And well, the Zeus's life is only set to get harder as Sumail is well and truly taking over this mid matchup.
The levels are maybe a little bit easier on... Actually, no. There was a slight advantage for Squadix earlier, but Sumail does manage to equalize. Again, I like this emphasis coming out from Shopify to control that mid. If the Zeus falls behind a little bit, he always has Thunder God's Rat presence early on to play around, but you're slowing down that Manta timing, you're slowing down the Phylactery and the Shard, which is when the Zeus really gets out of control. You're finding that early tempo coming out from Shopify. Your laning phase, again, is going pretty well for the side of Shopify, but it's not too bad for VP. Like, Kiritich is getting the free lane you'd expect the DK to, and he's going to have a good time. Can't be shoved away with double bracer. See, Power Rune's coming in. Again, it's Shopify that's kind of lining up here.
Squadix gets the bushwhack. He just used that heavenly jump to try and relocate himself. Squadix in huge trouble on a perfect setup from Kitrak. No wards to see the rotation incoming. FNG did try to rotate to help out, but now he's in trouble. Kitrak has a bushwhack in one. Boss Wu landed very, very easily. And Sumail should have another kill on his hands. Two will go down now. Virtus.pro giving a double kill away to Sumail. Mid matchup, it just keeps getting worse here for Squadix.
It's not getting any easier. Just no way to bring Antares in early enough. There were wards watching earlier, but just fades away at this timer. Power Rune goes the way of GH as well. Not going to be able to top up to Mail, but should allow him to make another play. He's sneaking up top. They don't have Metamorphosis for that long, so no real kill opportunity coming in. It's going to be even harder to give away this Tusk. Again, a strong start for Shopify in the laning phase, 1-4. Everything lining up their way. This early tempo that Sumail will get off of this is going to be massive. The quick Kaya make short work of the buildings and the heroes once that is set up. And Saberlight, again, even though Kiritich is finding farm, it is a DK, you're not being stopped here either on the Pango. Defusal timing might not be the same that you'd expect, from mid lane, but it is going to line up close enough. They're forcing like a lot of heroes to come in to just secure Wisdom Rune as well, with RTZ trying to micro-deny.
Very close steal from GH as well. He's still going to be able to TP away just fine. Wisdom Runes will go 1-for-1. Meanwhile, Notice being chased by RTZ. Reflection will give the vision. Kitrak's looking for a bushwhack opportunity. Notice he's going to try to get towards the team gates, but the bushwhack is going to lock him down. Here comes Sumail as well with the stun available. Notice is not going to be able to get through the gate. He'll try once again, but it's just no good. Sumail will find his third kill of the game. 1-5 already. Shopify Rebellion looking a lot better here in this game 3.
That they are a massive net worth advantage being formed here on Sumail, and he's leveraging that. Looking at bot.
Bottom, yeah, they've got the Dragon Knight now. Sumail is just not slowing down. Oh boy, oh boy. I mean, you get it. You give a good start to this man's Leshrac, and he just takes over.
That he does. He's got the level 3 Edict ready to try to mount towers, force out the Fortify earlier on. He's not stopping to push, though. He's just going for more.
Why not? GH is ready to set up. Squadix, he's been caught again. He does have the Heavenly Jump at the very least, and FNG, he's the one that's set to tank the gank here against Kitrak and Sumail. The runaway is there, but they've got the Lightning Storm. In fact, Sumail may not even need it. Eventually does pop it. FNG, he will go down. Heritage, he's going to rotate along with a couple, but can they get a stun off? GH, he will finally get stunned up, gets the snowball off. He'll buy a bit more time, but GH should surely just be going down, but no! Oh, they lift him up and finally take him out. It just looked a little bit too hard.
That has way more effort than you'd want for a cleanup kill. Does allow some presence here for the mid-siege with Kirta showing up as well. But it just takes so much for them to find that. It frees up this top lane for farm. You're getting some good chip damage onto Kirtich anyway. The tower will still be set to fall. Oh, they do clean up Kitrak. That's a little bit of a bonus.
Meanwhile, FNG will go down a Saberlight down the bottom lane. Saberlight able to find a solo pick-off for himself. The mid-tier 1 tower is now gone, but can Squadix get his way out? He does have the Heavenly Jump. He'll be alright. Able to really lock him down. The VP, I mean, they've been having a bit of a tough time in the kills department, but they do find a very important mid-tier 1 tower.
Opens up the map a little bit more. Dragon form has faded. Saberlight is forward. He was spotted out.
Thunder's back up, though. Can go whenever. The Shopify Rebellion want to try and set up for that mid-tier 1 tower themselves now with the Max Diabolic Edict available. Here comes GH from the side. He's already found Antares. Still FNG back to nice arena. Notice he'll find the Pangolier. He's even trapped in Sumail. Sumail's gonna have to try and fight back on his own, but it's just no good. 5 heroes from VP to ensure that they defend that mid-tier 1 tower. And that net worth lead that Shopify had, it does go right back the other way.
That's a huge loss. Losing Sumail like that. Great angle found there by Notice to just get that arena off. A little bit too far forward from the side of Shopify, especially without Kitrak around. He had no TP, he was hanging around on that bot jungle further out, couldn't find the angle in. And missed that timing. They need that Hoodwink to break up these fights with a Bushwhack. Help to provide some more setup as well for Sumail to play around. That does equalize the game quite nicely for VP. Mind you, again, Shopify are getting a lot in terms of just allowing RTZ to farm.
Bottom lane, Saberlight has found himself an opportunity. Does get stunned up. Has a swash, but does not end up connecting. Heritage with a nice little juke. Will be able to TP out just fine.
Still farm denial, though, for Heritage. That is the Dragon form with half duration to the left. Not able to just clear out the camps. Inside of VP, though, trying to line up top. At least get some shoving of their own with a siege creep up. Only Artur to kind of defend that by his lonesome. Again, the Terrorblade has been farming quite nicely. And the pacing for RTZ, playing with the Conjure Images, is going to hit this timing on the Manta sooner rather than later. A smoke out from Shopify. Looking to go on the hunt again with Sumail and GH here.
They are. Up towards the top lane they go. They want to see if they can hunt down Notice. But Notice seems to notice something is wrong. GH still hanging around. There are a few heroes who'll just get some wards down and get some vision for his side. Smoke will be broken, but Sumail is still behind him. They could try to use the Tusk as bait. Seems though Virtus.pro are very well aware that something is a little bit awry, and they do actually find the Observer Ward thanks to Squadix. So no gank to come here from Shopify.
That is forcing the clump up out from VP, though. Hugging up top, the side of Shopify already split up. Saberlight has free reign on that bot jungle to farm. Arteezy still protected by the tier 1 to play his own farm game up top. Has the Yasha flying out, and Manta not too far off. Smoke out now from VP though. They've got Arena back up unnoticed. Need to land on a target.
Yeah, trying on FNG. Samel will be there to back him up. They've got help incoming. Notice he's coming in from the side. FNG, he sets up a perfect team fight for the side of Virtus.pro. Samel is down. GH trying to back his way up, but it's no good. Even his courier will go with him. And it's all for a Shadow Demon. Certainly not worth it if you are Shopify.
What a great read with that smoke out from VP. Knowing that the side of Shopify was going to try to do something, and they get the punishment. Mind you, again, for Shopify, you could consider this space out for Arteezy. He is still free farming. You've got room for Saberlight. He's got the full diffusal flying out. You should expect the Pangolier to start to take more activity in this game, rather than just the supports plus Sumail. See if that's going to be the difference maker for Shopify as it goes on. But again, the game equalizes for VP. You're getting that build-up you'd want to see on Kiritich. Blink Dagger not too far off now for the DK. Massive stacks being cleared out here for Squadix. Has the damage, of course, with the Arc Lightning to take care of this. Has the Phylactery up as well. So a huge nuking potential on Squadix. Going for the Shard next before the Manta, which I do like, honestly. Like, the Manta is great, but Manta without Shard anyway is still kind of lackluster. You don't really need the Dispel on this game. So Shard first to have more impact up front. The haste in that farming phase is always nice. And their timings will line up there for VP. Props to Notice again for doing great work this time on that Mars. Just understanding what he can do. And that's him without the blink. Only about 300 gold away for him to have that, connecting nicely with the timing of Kiritich, which is flying out now. The VP should be able to ramp up this aggression and maybe start to find that hunt onto Arteezy, who again has been left alone for a long time. They need to clear the top tier 1 from VP. That's the one objective they really need to get a handle on. Just because while that stands, Arteezy is just going to farm top all the time.
Yeah. Here we go. Virtus.pro. They move up through the mid lane. No targets really around them. Only Samel hanging by the tier 2 mid tower. They could think to blow him up though. Kiritich does have the blink to initiate, but of course the TP rotations could be rather quick from Shopify. What's the top lane perhaps? Good look for Saberlight. Saberlight going for the Rolling Thunder, but the Dragon Tail is there in time. Kidrak is channeling a sharpshooter to try and help out. Meanwhile, GH going right after Squadix, trying to find the Zeus here on the backside. He'll lock him down. Notice though, a nice arena, but the Sunder from Arteezy not allowing him to go down. Arteezy's still low, but he's still fighting it out. Meanwhile, Samel dropping low from Thor, but he's still going. Is now Kiritich. He does get caught by the Leshrac Samel. He will eventually drop. Arteezy now forced to run away. Squadix is having a look around, seeing if he can find the TP. Run west, try to get in that tree line. Link is up on Kiritich. Not coming in quite yet, and Arteezy looks like he should be okay. Now GH coming back in, but will go down. So will Saberlight by the looks of it, or maybe not. FNG dropping low, but no, Saberlight's gone. They'll try to reinitiate, but it will not work out in their favor. VP will win another big team fight.
That was a huge play coming out from VP. It looked dicey for Kiritich up front, but Antares comes in with a save. The Stolen Sunder, keeping that DK alive long enough to get the cleanup done with the rest of his team. A little bit of a mess for Shopify. They get this good angle in down south with a Rolling Thunder from Saberlight, but with the arena up, it already splits that fight up in a direction that Shopify does not want to take it. Again, we were talking about this with a terribly pick into Mars. The arena can cut off your DPS by a huge margin. And sure, you had this decent position for Arteezy, but stuck inside the arena with everyone else outside, you're just not doing damage in that window. On the side of VP, gonna be very pleased with themselves off the back of that fight. And props to Antares. What a sicko. Stealing the Sunder to save up his DK and just giving them that opening. It's kind of insane.
Yeah, absolutely. There's definitely saving the day here is Antares. Virtus.pro looking to really press the advantage. Will head up north once again, understanding they are the stronger team at the moment. The net worth lead is still only just 1k Virtus.pro's way, but they're going to jump in again. They'll find Kidrak here in the mid lane thanks to Notice, and Kidrak will be going down. Not the biggest kill, but it kind of sets a precedence here as VP are just not intending on slowing down.
No, they just need to keep that pace up. This is their timing. The scaling for Shopify, if it does kick in, can be a little bit harder. Again, if RTZ does manage to get everything online, this Terrorblade can be the be-all, end-all up until you reach like something like your Ags plus maybe a AC up for Kiritich. That's when things can start to go smoothly, or just the Ags alone with a Mage Slayer could be enough. A little ways off until that level 18 anyhow, so no pressure on the Ags timing there. Sumail does finally manage to get his full Kaya. Did go back for the Eternal Shroud first, so it should be a lot harder to burst down. I wonder if he's going to go back for the Bloodstone, which feels necessary for him to tank up front. Or that, or the BKB to just survive through from the control. Either one can really provide some openings for Shopify, but both of that is a long ways off in farm. VP, they've got some beautiful wards to just keep this aggressive play. A good ward watching the top lane, into the mid, all across into the river. Just a good diagonal to play from. One ward is taken out, but no big deal for the side of VP. They try to force something out.
See FNG, he's just thinking about it. Bushrack will be there, but Squadix is around to help. FNG blown up already, but here comes Kiritich onto the tusk. They don't. Still GH able to walk away. Sumail now being caught out by Notice, or rather Notice is being caught out by him. Notice going a bit too far. He will drop as a secondary, and now Shopify Rebellion trying to really take the advantage. They'll find a third, and Virtus.pro will find nothing.
That is just... That's a massive mistake out from VP. Streaming in one by one. Trying to take that area. They just saw their ward get taken out there too. Like, it was right there. They were de-warding. They had the vision. They choose to force it out in a pretty scattered manner. And they just get wanked out by the side of Shopify, opening up this opportunity for mid. Going to equalize a little bit on map control here for the side of Shopify, and they even out the game. 11-14, less than 1k lead coming back to Shopify Rebellion side. Can't underestimate just how much damage Sumail does. That and forcing a fight without the arena, it's just not the way to go. That's been the one thing that really cuts off Shopify, that split these fights into two fronts, that takes care of the output from RTZ when Metamorphosis is up. Just that barrier with no solution. It is back up now, though, for the arena on VP, and Metamorphosis is down. Again, they still have these good forward wards. They could force something out here again.
Now running north again into that dive triangle, or excuse me, rather the dive jungle. Notice is around. They won't see anyone here from Shopify. The Kirak will now show under vision. King's out immediately. They might give it a crack. Pretty easy kill if you do find the hoodwink, and there you go. Notice, no messing around. Just drops the arena immediately. We'll take him down. I'll tell you what, you just saw the win probability as well. It's 51-49%. This is a very close match between these two teams.
That it is. It can still go either way. It's really just down to how well does VP play around the arena, and how well the Shopify use these windows of opportunity for themselves. Like, they know arena's down for a little bit longer. That's when they've been finding most of their success in jumping Notice and taking up the follow-up fight. But they are pretty far from the action at the moment. They do manage to de-ward, at the very least, in that top jungle area near the cliff by the tier 2. They are protected in that sense. You still have a lot of room to grow anyway. RTZ is still saving up for the Scotty. You've got the Bloodstone that Sumail is going back for, just to sustain up front. You've already got the Ags up on Saberlight, going for the Shard next for a little bit more of a nuisance with a roll-up. To the side of VP, I mean, you're going to hit this timing now as well on the DK, right? Like, Manta's going to be coming up next for Kiritich, working on to level 18. The Ags becomes a very distinct possibility as well. FNG.
Oh, they just couldn't let him go. They could not let him go. I think these damn core players, they never care. They never care.
You want your shard, you die first. At least he finds it. You know, demonic purge, demonic cleanse is pretty big. He just had to die for it, but it's a worthwhile trade.
Yeah, I guess. Except he's probably gonna be saving his teammate. Let's be fair. You know what I mean? He might not want to do that anymore. Anyway, moving on. Shopify Rebellion looking for perhaps a Roshan attempt. Virtus.pro nowhere nearby to try and contest this Roshan. No real vision to scout this out either. Thunder God's Wrath, though, will give the information they require if they do wish to contest Roshan. might be a little bit too challenging to actually get in position, considering their position on the map right now. Seems like they are just going to allow Roshan to go the way Shopify for free.
Yeah, they do have forward vision here as well from Shopify to protect any flank from the Radiant side. They should just have that confidence to clean up, and they will. Aegis goes the way of Sumail. Leshrac, one of the best Aegis carriers, maximizes that mana pool quite nicely. On the reset, instantly TPs onto the mid. If they find an angle out, see if they can start to make use of this Aegis. Pressure onto the tier 2s. Tier 1 up top, still standing as well, is a bit of an issue. That is allowing VP to play forward into that top jungle. They aren't quite making their way there just yet. You have some good spikes, though. Like now, the steady push can come out from Squadix. He's got his Manta along with a Shard. Even the Shadow Demon illusions can just cut through these creep waves quite nicely with that Lightning Hands on hand. And they can play the stall game despite being behind on the Aegis. You spot Noticed under the ward, but it's only Saberlight around for punishment to come in. Again, it's still an even game state despite Aegis 12-14, 1k lead going out to VP. As this game scales on, it's really this level 18 timing that I'm keen to see for Kiritich, whether or not that lines up with a pretty decent Ags timing considering the state of the game. Because it's that DK Ags that can really catch you off guard. And you've got the Mage Slayer. Like, magically bursting down Kiritich is not an option anymore. He gets a right click off onto Sumail. That's a lot of DPS you're losing in the middle of these fights for Shopify.
Yeah, Dota Plus tends to agree with you on that, John. 58% still sitting the way of Virtus.pro with the win probability right now. So even with the Aegis up on Shopify, it doesn't really give them the advantage here in this game number 3, apparently. Still a very, very close matchup again. Yeah, it does all pan out, of course. Can they really take advantage with this Aegis? For now, they are just using it to farm up. Obviously, a lot of time available on the Aegis here for Sumail to try and find an opening with his team. Down bottom, there is a bit of a group up. Noticed is still farming underneath a creep wave. Shopify is slowly inching their way forward towards the MOUZ, but with great hesitation. There is some vision towards the west, as you just saw. Meanwhile, by the Twin Gates, Notice is going to try and come in and help out Antares, who was caught there for a moment. Problem is, Arteezy is here as well. Notice is going to BKB and try to TP out, and he will be just fine to do so. They will lose Antares nonetheless. Saberlight, he'll take the kill they can.
Not the big one they're hunting for, but that still provides an opportunity to take this top tier 1. Again, cutting off a little bit of that top lane access that VP has been playing around with very nicely here. And maybe even start to set up onto that triangle, plant some more forward wards for Shopify to start to open up the map more. They still have Aegis for 2.5 minutes, could lead into a tier 2 siege as well. See if that's something they really want to fully pressure out. And RTZ will. Commits the Metamorphosis, starts a bit of a siege, forces out the Fortify before the second wave comes in. And it shouldn't take too long for this to melt. We've got the output, full Scotty up on RTZ. And along with Sumail, of course, with that Diabolic Edict. And we'll set up. Again, you are doing a great job of just playing with DK illusions in Dragon form, with Zeus illusions as well, to constantly shove out here on the side of Virtus.pro, so none of the other tier 2s are under threat. And of course, it's a little bit early for high ground for Shopify. It does feel like that's the most they'll get out of this movement right now. And all things considered, VP are still managing this game. Octarine being built up by Squadix, which you do like to see. More uptime for all of your spells, kind of coincides nicely with your phylactery usage as well. You've got the Ags now being farmed up by Kiritich, who's about to hit level 18. So you've got this massive Black Dragon form that will change the state of the game. Just more utility to come through. You've got the BKB for Notice as well, still on 8 seconds. Smoke out for Notice and Antares here on the hunt.
They saw Saberlight in the mid lane, but Saberlight has left the building. He'll just hang by the tier 2 mid tower. Virtus.pro hoping he shows back up, but Saberlight instead going back towards the triangle. Hanging around. Thunderclap Rats will give the information now. Saberlight, he does eventually get caught. The vision is all they required here from Squadix. Meanwhile, Sumail is further south, being caught by Kiritich now with the Dragon Tail stun. Sumail trying to find a way out of this. He's got help on the way. RT's going to try and go on to Notice with the MOUZ. MOUZ still being just fine to survive with the BKB as Sumail is still taking through all this damage output. Still going, but the Aegis, it will eventually be taken. That'll be the first life for Sumail. Shopify, they still want to fight. Still moving on to Kiritich. But they really don't have much lockdown here against Virtus.pro. So there's no real target they can secure. Virtus.pro, they will get away with the Sableye kill.
It's a pretty big one to find. Again, playing into the Aegis, taking care of the Aegis as well. That should hold back on any further tier 2 pressure coming out here. And then just allows this ramp up for Kiritich to work onto that Ags of his own. Still, they are lining up bot. Creep Wave has shoved in. The Zoo Solutions are making short work of that. And that's the challenge now for Shopify. Getting the Creep Waves into the position where they can siege is not that easy when you're dealing with Zoo Shards, when you're dealing with a DK with Manta, with the Ags eventually coming in. It will slow the pace down.
Lane Sableye's trying to get a bit of revenge here on the MOUZ. Knock him down for a while. Notice I can't imagine he gets out of this one, though he is trying. The Shard's actually locking out Sableye. Oh, that's a great snowball dodge on the spear as well from GH. It's completely outplaying Notice there. And well, Sableye does get his sweet, sweet revenge. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Kidrak, he'll find an extra. The Rubik now, Antares copying the sharpshooter. Simel trying to move in, but they are out of range to really be able to secure the kill. They'll let the Rubik go. And now Shopify starting to feel themselves a little bit.
Yeah, they're getting the openings they want. They're evening out the game. And they're still trying to slowly pressure on bot, but creeps just die way too fast to all of these Zeus illusions coming in. And it is stalling out progress. In a stalled match, again, you're pretty happy on VP. Just keep that farm game up, try to scale up, try to hit these timings on your DK and your Zeus. But that does mean Arteezy gets bigger and bigger. He's going to have his own BKB up. He's not going to be concerned too much about the control coming out, especially the damage coming in here from Squad. It's going to be mitigated almost entirely by Arteezy having that BKB. We just need to kind of ride it out. Next Roche is the next big play anyway for both sides, particularly Shopify considering this game state. If they can find themselves a team fight into that Roche in the next minute 10 into, 3 minutes for the respawn, they could find themselves in position to take all these outer towers into the high ground. Smoke out early, though, from Shopify.
Again, they are feeling confident here. Sumel and GH once again going to smoke up together. Kitrak will join his team. His VP is grouped up, and they're going to go for a 4-man smoke of their own. Octarine Core has been built up on Squadix. A 5-man smoke, in fact. Through the mid lane they go. They'll try to enter that Radiant jungle. Well, Shopify as 5. They really want this big team fight. Antares, he'll break the smoke onto Simel, but it seems as though VP do not want to initiate from the low ground. Being very cautious not to give the opening away to Shopify Rebellion quite yet. They'll wrap around the long way, try to come from the south. They'll see Arteezy down that bottom wave. This could be a big pickoff. They can catch Arteezy without the BKB up. Arteezy, he'll see Squadix first. Squadix trying to bait him forward. Arteezy still playing with fire. Will pop the metaphor, send the BKB now. Notice looking for an arena. Does drop one, catching 3 in there. Samel, he'll be stunned up. It's still looking pretty good for Shopify, though. They'll go right after FNG. They'll take down the Shadow Demon. The arena does nothing as there was just no follow-up to it. At least the rest of the Virtus.pro squad is able to get out, apart from perhaps Notice down that bottom lane, who has been caught by Kidrak. Meanwhile, Antares still trying to fight this one out, is going to go down. Sumel will take that one. Seems though Notice at least does manage to run away from Kidrak, but it's still a 2-for-0 trade the way of Shopify.
It's a pretty big win for Shopify. Mind you, that does cost them the BKB, and you are seeing the awkwardness of Terrorblade into Mars. You pop BKB, you're still in the arena. Guess what? Your hits still aren't going outside of the arena. You have to manually walk out, which sometimes you can't quite do in a certain position, and it makes it a little bit rougher for Arteezy. So it's 1 BKB charge down on the Terrorblade. For a tier 2, not too bad. Opens up this possibility for Roche in a minute and a half. And that's going to have to be the play to secure the rest of these objectives that Shopify will want to find. They do get a 6k lead on top of just killing those supports. Win probability suddenly swings to Shopify's way, 60-40, but still relatively close of a match. I will say, you do hit that critical timing now. Kiritich does have the full Ags. He's got the Black Dragon form. It can make a massive difference here in these fights. Needs a little bit more damage on top, and this is a big fight to break out. To Minotaur Roche. Either one wins, Roshan is theirs.
Absolutely, Samel going to reveal his position. Is out the creep wave. Virtus.pro not jumping yet. They do not see the rest of Shopify. Roshan going to be a very, very big deal here in this game 3. scouting out with some Dragon Knight illusions. Right, this with the creep wave once again. Roshan still 30 seconds away. Arteezy actually farming across the map, but he does have a TP point available down at that bottom tier 1 tower. So no need to rush back towards his team quite yet. Meanwhile, a smoke now, a 4-man smoke in fact from Shopify Rebellion. They'll head around that bottom lane. Into the Radiant jungle they go. They've got vision around this area on Virtus.pro's side. Of course, they will not see through the smoke. Arteezy has now joined his team. A 5-man smoke now from Shopify, but they do get scanned out. Virtus.pro very well aware that they are coming. Saberlight looking for a big initiation. Not going to find any targets quite yet.
They've got that sneaky ward in the cliff. Have some info where they are. A little bit, but not enough to really make that play off of. And Roche is still open. Side of VP's all the way across now. This is the opening for Shopify to just take this objective for free. Look into the tier 2 mid, into the high ground. Yeah, VP just give up the position a little bit too quick.
There's Roshan. No chance really of contesting it now. They could get the info with the Roar out, but it won't matter at all. They are nowhere near being able to contest this Roshan. So instead, Virtus.pro, they'll deal with the top wave, they'll deal with the mid wave, they'll just try to strip push everything while they still can. Shopify very, very happy to trade those waves away for that Aegis up on Arteezy now. Or even the tier 2 tower being sieged by the Dragon Knight illusion. What Shopify do with this Aegis? I mean, they can still sit back and relax for a little bit, wait up perhaps the silver edge of Arteezy before they get going.
Yeah, not under too much pressure here in Shopify. Still have a lot of time on that Aegis. They've got the Roche banner as well to help siege, just dropping it in front of their tier 3, just to help the creep wave constantly shove out. They will need that. It's a huge boon actually in this game. That Roche banner with
FNG not again. He's going to disrupt. Poor old FNG. Just can't catch a break. This time he will make it.
Yeah, it was FNG and Antares that were in the firing line. They wanted to kill both the supports.
My goodness.
And they need to pay the tax. You want your shard to die for it. Either one. Still, the side of Shopify again. This Roche banner drop in mid, I think, is actually pretty impactful. Just to stall out with these illusions. It's not going to be as quick. And they've got the Roche banner buff. To be fair, the Zeus illusions are still clearing it out. So I don't know how much of a difference that really makes. Which means maybe Roche banner needs a buff. Perchance.
I would agree with that sentiment, John. I think the item could use a buff, as we are going to see a Thunder God's Wrath right through the smoke, so they are going to be very well aware of the smoke that was incoming from Shopify. Shopify still happy to head down towards the bottom lane. Antares is currently around the area, but will blink towards safety once again. If you are Shopify, though, maybe you just try to force high ground without a pick. I mean, you do still have the Aegis available here on Arteezy. They will play it safer though and look towards the mid-tier 2 tower. Sumel to get within range for the Diabolic Edict of that tier 2. No jump in from Virtus.pro, of course. Looking to delay this game as much as possible so they can wait out the Aegis of Arteezy. They'll just creep skip the mid lane with their Dragon Knight. Notice we'll take care of the top wave as well. So really no extra waves coming in. I think Shopify, though, is still pretty happy to just control the map. There's no real rush.
No. That Roche banner literally does nothing for these creep waves. Like, I was watching the DK illusions just shred it through. And even take the banner away. That's plus 200 gold for Kiritich off the back of the enemy Roshan, which is pretty hilarious to get gold for that. So, freebie for the DK. Yeah, that definitely needs buff.
This is being chased down here by GH. Still having a look around. They are going to find him. The Pangoli with the swashbuckle does connect. Notice he took out the Arteezy courier, but it is going to cost him his own life. A heavy cost for the MOUZ.
Nice pickup as well. Moving that threat of Arena. If they were closer to the high ground, it would have been a prime time to try to force out a buyback. Still, again, it's really awkward to try to siege when you've got DK and Zeus illusions all over the place. Like, it is actually a pain for the side of Shopify to equalize the map. And again, the stall game works in favor of VP to just try to get this build up. You're going for a right-click Zeus. We've got the Parasma lined up for Squadix, which makes me so excited. And then maybe sometime down the line we get Moon Shard Zeus. And everything's perfected. It's perfection.
I would love to see it. I mean, VP are doing a very good job of just dragging the game out. We are only 36.5 minutes in, to be absolutely fair, but they've certainly given no opportunities for Shopify to try for high ground with this Aegis. So a minute 20 left on that Aegis, but it doesn't seem like they're going to be anywhere near getting to a high ground attempt. They'll just have to use it as a farming Aegis. They have extended the net worth lead to 6k now on Shopify Rebellion's end of things, but win probability is still 35 to 65%. It's still a very close game. Once that Aegis does wear out, chances are the probability goes up a little bit more for VP.
Yeah, it should be able to equalize. Again, there's been no progress on high ground. No actual hits onto the high ground. It's this illusion spam. This is one of the reasons why it's just so hellish to play against DK and the Zeus Shard. It just stalls out games indefinitely. I mean, there's no threat from the team fights. It's just, you find a kill, your waves are shoved out, you need to repair. You come back in, guess what? More illusions coming out. Got the Shadow Demon illusions on top. Like, yeah, you can't really do much on Shopify, but just try to look for that opening. The information that you're getting out from Squadix as well with Thunder God's Wrath. With the Octarine, it's a free scouting tool. Every 90 seconds, basically a free super scan. Every 90 seconds, which is just infuriating to try to make your movements around here for Shopify. VP, not like they can find their own opportunity here, to be fair. They are at the point where Notice is going for a Scotty into a Divine. So that's exciting if the game drags on. That's a very distinct possibility.
I love it. My kind of game. Damage Amp Rune has been found here by Kidrak. They'll hold that one for Arteezy, of course. He doesn't have the Aegis anymore. In fact, they might give it to Samel. We'll give the bottle to Arteezy. Arteezy will take the Amp Damage Rune. No Aegis available, though, so we'll see if they do get an opportunity to actually abuse it. Actually, they might get it right now. There's a 5-man smoke coming in from Virtus.pro. Not going to be able to find anyone quite yet here on the side of VP. Shopify Rebellion seemingly understanding they might be coming. They do get scanned out here in the mid lane. Shopify still perfectly fine to just farm up their own dire triangle. The God's Wrath again give plenty of information to the side of Virtus.pro, but they're unable to really abuse that information at the moment. Shopify continuing to just stick as a unit by the tier 2 bottom tower, not giving the opening away here for Virtus.pro. Instead, Shopify happily will just go after the Dire Tormentor now. Even the Satanic being completed on our teams.
Does manage to get it up. I think the one beautiful thing, again, when you have Thunder God's Wrath, if your smoke doesn't line up, guess what? Thunder God's Wrath, and they can't smoke either. And it just leads to stall. That's basically this game. It's stall gaming. Just get that build up, slow down the game, wait for next Roshan, try again, see if the smoke lines up. I don't know if there's any items that simplify this for Shopify. Like, they've got the side of Vice and Sumail. That's pretty big. Into Kai Sanj. Arteezy's pretty much fully slotted up. Double damage does pop, so we'll put the Satanic back in. Roshan timer 1 minute away till we see the respawn. Could be nice if it's a quicker run for Shopify. But VP trying again with a smoke here. See if they find anything. Their map is somewhat dark. Inside of Shopify isn't walking under their vision. They have a rough clue that they could be grouping up for daytime Roche.
VP still hanging around the mid lane. Still just dealing with these creep waves, trying to force Shopify back to defend. I think it's going to be an early respawn timer here for the Roshan. I mean, Shopify would love one. The VP, not so much. Though I say that, they are still successfully just pushing out all the mid and top lane right now with all these DK illusions. Someone will need to address this eventually. Shopify, they have smoked up as 5. They do not want to see this happening to their mid-tier 3 tower. But the Thunder God's Wrath will give their position away once again. We'll see if they can still find a way to initiate here against VP, but VP certainly has all the information they need to get the hell out of it.
And they're out. Half a minute until Roshan. And this is the infuriating thing about just...
They got to use that tower.
It's those illusions, man. It's just a lot. Too many. They all do good damage, like, you have to respect that. Let's see if Shopify can do something. They're still smoked up, but not too much longer. will try to make their way into Roche through the gate, but VP this time is ready to contest with her own smoke.
Roshan's up in 5 seconds. It's anyone's game. Roshan is just too damn important to give up. Arteezy, he's very far forward, but they don't see him yet. He'll just jump FNG immediately, but the Glimmer Cape from FNG will allow him a way out, at least for now, but perhaps not for long. He'll disrupt himself, but he is almost certainly just dead. Saberlight looking for a little bit more, but everyone else will retreat back towards the Radiant base. So Shopify, if they so wish, it is time for Roshan.
And it is. Has the refresh on hand now. You should be able to, I don't know, maybe save that for RTZ, double BKB, double Metamorphosis on a second life after Aegis. Provides a lot more for Shopify to kind of start to take some risks. However, while they do, Roche, look what's happening mid. DK Illusions to shove in with no tier 3. Racks are actually a possibility for... And with the Zeus solution, it's like, this is so crazy. This gameplay, this is peak gameplay right here. Look at that.
Oh, you love to see it. Dragon Knight. Yeah, Ocean is the thing. Meanwhile, top lane, Twin Gate usage was there from Shopify Rebellion, but again, the Thunder God's Wrath is just constantly being spammed out by Squadix. He is not allowing anyone from Shopify to get any kind of surprise or initiations off on anyone. So Shopify, they're still in this kind of stalemate situation with Virtus.pro. It's like you really can't do too much. You've almost got to hope Virtus.pro come to you.
Yeah, but Virtus.pro are also playing so cautiously. They know they don't need to go out. They know they can just play with these solutions. Heritage is going for his Octarine, so more uptime for the Elder Dragon. They are smoked, but they're not looking to hunt. They're just looking to push out these waves. And Shopify, well, they're starting to get some distance in. RTZ, Saberlight on the hunt here.
They could find Antares. Antares, though, in the tree line, but Saberlight, oh, he realizes he might be there. He'll check the tree line. Antares will try to blink away. Does actually get away for now, looking for the TP and actually makes it. Well, that's a beautiful escape from Antares. The VP are literally denying them everything.
Yeah, they're denying them any sort of gameplay. Just you take Roche, you farm, that's all you can do. You try to shove out your wave, guess what? Zeus Illusions, DK Illusions slow that down. They will get the opportunity for high ground, but Arena is ready. Notice is coming back. It's a little bit of a risk if they overcommit on the side of Shopify.
They will give it a crack. I mean, at some point, you've got to try. A lot of chip damage being dealt to that T3 tower, but Shopify Rebellion not willing to risk it, will back their way out. Mind you, you do have the Ags on GH, so you do have the nice kickback setup from GH if he does find a straggler, though he's the one currently being hunted right now by Notice. Gets caught in the arena by the spear, still alive for a little bit longer. The Bushwhack, it's going to buy him a little bit of time. Oh, Kidrak, he may have set up a great team fight for Shopify Rebellion. It's now Virtus.pro, they need a way out of there. Notice, he'll pop the BKB and run. Saberlight trying to find some stunts on anybody. Antares and FNG both dropping low, and now the double stun out from Saberlight, catching Notice, catching Antares, all off the back of a Bushwhack from Kidrak. Oh, that slight second extra they had. It makes all the difference from Shopify Rebellion. Can they go high ground off the back of this?
This is the opening. Arena's down. It will be up in the respawn, but the buyback won't have it at the very least. They still have Aegis running. No Metamorphosis, but almost doesn't matter at this point. Heads up play from GH2. He had his courier coming in when he knew he was in trouble. Instantly grabs the gem back. And they don't find anything. You get the kill, but you don't even get the gem.
Well. High level plays here from GH. Rack a cheeky sharpshooter there onto the Zeus. Try for that tier 3 mid tower. They so desperately want some objectives here, Shopify Rebellion. FNG will slow it down as best as possible with these illusions of the TP, but the tier 3 tower is gone. Jamel jumping in, he's found himself a Zeus, a very aggressive play, but maybe they've got him, and they do. Squadix is down, no buyback available. Shopify may have done it. They've got the MOUZ back up in 20, and he does have buyback, but without your Zeus, this could be a very, very challenging team fight to hope for Virtus.pro. Shopify going to the secondary lane of Rax will have no problems taking it out. And it seems like they want to commit all the way for the Megas now. Why the hell not? They've seen what happens if you wait. And in fact, it's happening right now. Kiritich is trying to split push the bottom lane, but there is a creep wave coming in through the mid lane for Shopify that is not going to work. They have to fight. Virtus.pro have no choice in this matter. fighting without the Zeus, though, it could be a little bit problematic.
Got the arena at the very least ready on notice, but he's just taking care of Bob.
Now, he's jumped in again. They found Antares. The disruption, it will only save for so long. Antares is down. It's a 5v3 scenario now for Shopify Rebellion. Mega creeps incoming. Tier 4 towers under siege. Virtus.pro still not willing to go for the fight. Just not confident they can actually take the fight. But their Tier 4 towers are going down. It seems like they'll wait for the backdoor to kick in, and it does in fact kick in. So Shopify Rebellion, they cannot finish the game quite yet. They need a creep wave.
They're going back to escort that mid, knowing there to cut. That opportunity should present itself again. Again, Notice does have the arena ready, and they've got Squadix back. He's got the Parasma with the Zeus. There is some good damage. You just need to find a way to step right in. Shopify playing a little bit more cautiously, though. They know this is a risk. They've got the Megas. There's no reason to force too hard unless an opportunity presents itself here.
Notice. Stop for a second there, but doesn't immediately blink out. I mean, the double arena is available whenever here for Notice, but he's got to make it perfect. It really does have to be a perfect initiation here from the MOUZ to give them a chance to push out these lanes once again. Here comes Shopify Rebellion. They are not willing to wait. The mega creeps are here. Tier 4 towers under siege. Chanel, he'll frontline Notice. He'll miss out on the Spirit. Quick blink out to save the life of the Lesh. Here we go again. Saberlight looking for a Rolling Thunder. Heritage, he's trying to man up here up against GH with the Snowball. It's going to be there into the kickback to Dragon Knight in the middle of nowhere. Meanwhile, Notice dropping another arena, trying to go onto the Hoodwink. He might at least have Kidrak towards the south, though. Saberlight, he's been caught out, but Arteezy, he's going to be around to help out. They're on to Heritage. Now Heritage has got no hope of survival. He'll still be disrupted. They'll save him a little bit longer. He's still going, but not for long. But Arteezy is down. Maybe the fight can continue here from VP. Notice dropping lower. Simbel, he'll take him out. Can they keep the fight going? They can. They'll buy back on the Dragon Knight. And they will defend the base here on the side of Virtus.pro. However, Squadix does get caught. FNG gets caught. They're both down. It's a 5v2 situation, and GG has been called. Shopify Rebellion, they managed to make it work. Virtus.pro, sadly, will be dropping game number 3. But Shopify should be very happy with the way this series has ended.
Now, what